The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
We're back. What's up, guys? Live. And why aren't my my little widgets working? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Wednesday night. Do I have an echo going?
That was my fault. I should be fixed now.
Fucking James, why you gotta always just? No, I'm just joking, brother. James, thanks for being. Look at. It's nice to have James here at the beginning, man. It's pretty nice. This is a new fun thing. What up, B? How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good.
Man.
And it's not even a drama alert time, too.
Oh, it's not? All right. See you guys.
I was about to say James usually bounces out by the time drama alert happens.
Or joins when it starts.
Yeah. Hey, I want to remind everybody that we do have a Discord. If you guys ever want to call in live to the show, all you have to do is join said Discord. Let me take you into the Matrix real quick. As you guys saw from the pre-show, I am pretty stony right now. So thanks for everybody that joins us during the live pre-music smoke sesh where we all take part, including the co-hosts. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Finally got to play Brad Selden Esquire's pick, a.k.a. Ricky from Denzel Curry. By the way, if there's any Denzel Curry fans out there, make sure you guys go check out his. He's got a comic that he did for, was it his first album? I can't remember, but it's a comic and a. There we go. It's a comic and a little record that's on a little piece of plastic. It's kind of cool. But anyways, here we go, you guys. Call in. You can call in live. Say hello. Say what's up to everybody.
And this is a shirt I would normally wear to work.
Yeah. The little thing you guys see on the bottom below James that says Beyond Wednesdays and it goes green every time we talk, that is the Discord live. So whenever you guys jump in, you guys will see your name show up there during the show. So if anybody that's viewing see somebody jump in there, that means that somebody has called in live. You might actually hear it too through the Discord, but the Discord's rocking right now, man. We got a lot of fun stuff, show ideas, show topics. There's a drama alert section, which is pretty chill. And the market report stuff. We got a big market report tonight. We got a killer market report tonight. And
new segment.
Yeah, new segment tonight too, by the way. Yeah, good call. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll play around with that. 42 live. What's going on, everybody? Hit that thumbs up. That is one of the best things that you guys can do for us. Let us know how the mics sound, how the sound is, sound quality. I want to know all that stuff. I want all the collective criticism. If somebody sells a nickel bag of collective criticism, I want in. Let me have it.
I muted the Discord right now because it echoes for us still.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I don't think it echoes for the stream. I think it just echoes for us or you guys. Poor guests, poor co-hosts. Wham.
It throws me off when I'm talking and I hear my own voice. And it's like something I said 3 seconds ago, and it causes me to.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
Yeah,
it does suck. Some interesting stuff to talk about. Spider-Verse still. Everybody's still talking about Spider-Verse. We got a Spider-Verse heavy market report tonight. That's pretty interesting. Oh, Yi, tell them about the segment that you got coming up.
Oh yeah, so I always get questions all the time about sports cards. Like, hey, do I buy this? Do I buy that? And so I basically broke down what most people chase after for like what's the high buy-in, what's the mid, what's the lowest I can buy into. This is relatively covering most hobby products. There is a few retail like sprinkled in here and there, and then I'll also say like, hey, this is something I would rip for fun, or I would just chase after singles.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I for this one I did football, basketball, and baseball.
Hey,
What up, Hood?
What's up?
shit, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
Nothing much. How are
What's up,
you?
James?
Yeah, what's up, brother?
We gotta fix this. Hold on.
Man, you guys
You
better
need
smile on
tattoos.
this podcast, dude.
You
I'm
smile,
not going to be on a
dude.
podcast where everybody looks
this-
unhappy, man.
Is this
You
enough
smile, bro.
tattoos, James? Is this enough tattoos?
I was just replying to that.
Okay.
Man, you look like James's little brother now, bro.
I've had these tattoos for a while, but
Aaron
to see
Hive.
to see the other tattoos, you got to either be in Baltimore or at a con. The ones on my legs. So
There you go. Jump in, everybody. Jump in while the water is warm.
Is my hat crooked? My hat
Yes.
feels crooked. There it is.
Yes.
Okay, now it's not crooked.
All right, let me fix this. I gotta fix this.
I have to have my hands done in the
Hey,
next
bro.
30 days.
I found the elusive spider punk.
Oh, let's talk about this. This is something that a lot of people are kind of talking about. It's pretty interesting. Is this the one that? Where did these come from?
So Marvel Legends. It looks like it's the
Yeah.
new one for the Into the Spider-Verse
Yeah,
figure.
Dude, I thought that
Marvel
was the-
Legends series.
Don't you have the one that is limited to 4,000? Which one is that from? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
No. I know.
You guys were talking about it. Don't make me go
I
to
have
my
the-
Instagram posts.
I have the first one. The first one that came out where the Build-A-Figure is the
Hood.
lizard.
Hood, what
Yeah.
what is your problem, bro? You guys think I act like a stoner. Let me tell you who really acts like a stoner. When I say, hey, what's that one that's like limited to like 5,000 or something? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's on his Instagram. It's one of his most recent posts.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking Spider Punk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
maybe
thought you
that
were
probably
talking
threw you
Spider
off.
Punk. I
That probably threw you off.
apologize. Yeah.
It's
So
okay.
I've got this open, and I got one with the Blu-ray that came from Walmart.
So this one came with the Blu-ray?
Yeah, it came with the Blu-ray.
Oh, that came out like what, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Maybe a
man,
year?
longer than that. That came
Oh.
out. Yeah,
Like as
when,
soon as available on
yeah.
like what 4K. It was like a 4K special, right?
Yes.
And I think it
Yes.
was Walmart, I want to say.
Yeah,
They
it was
dropped this one.
Walmart. Very good.
Ooh, Stoner Recall.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It was Walmart. Yes, for a limited time only.
The answer is always on this podcast is yes.
Yes. That is
But
true.
those are the skinniest legs on an action figure you're ever gonna see.
I was
bro.
about to say, man, like those are some super skinny jean legs, man.
They took Gwen's legs and just repainted them.
They probably did, dude. I wouldn't be surprised. Or maybe these are skinnier. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah.
But of course, we did, a pod with the first Miles Morales figure.
Oh yeah, that was
You know.
years ago at this point.
Yeah.
No, we did it recently. Like, yeah, it seems like years, right, Aaron? Like Josh already had it graded.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because like Josh picked it up when you talked about it, and
Yep.
then he sent it off for grading, and he's already got it back from grading. Because I assume like action figures are quite the wait. to
I mean,
get
I
back.
guess that doesn't mean anything, because I mean, I've seen some close to 100, but you would think as big as Miles is, it's kind of like his rookie card of action figure type of deal. But I guess
this his
nobody gives
first
a
one?
fucking shit about it.
Is this the first one?
No, this is just the exclusive from Into the Spider-Verse. So back in 2013, Aaron, was it 2013? Because
It's when that Sony with Andrew Garfield came out.
yeah, hold on, let me get my figure. Hold on.
Well, it would have to be after what 2015. The figure would have to come out, right? Because it
Yeah.
wouldn't predate the comic.
Yeah, it wouldn't predate the comic.
Yeah, Brad's got a great point right here about Evil Miles spec. This had me thinking quite a bit about some interesting stuff to talk about tonight, but I don't know how spoilery we want to get. But I mean,
that sounds like more like a Saturday conversation, and we give warnings about spoil.
I think that's a great Saturday conversation, man. I think that's a deep dive into Saturday comic spec conversation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we don't.
So this is the first Miles Morales action figure. So it came out on with the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, but this was an exclusive, and you want to get the one that has the Walmart sticker. But you see Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. That's Miles Morales, and then on the back it says, "When Peter Parker falls, a new Spider-Man rises in his place. This brave teenager will fight to uphold Peter Parker's heroic legacy, protecting the innocent and battling evil as the new Ultimate Spider-Man."
That's badass, bro.
Right. So this came out in 2012.
That's
right,
really
but nobody
cool.
fucking talks about it. You
2011.
know what I mean?
I forgot, James. It was 2011 for what, Miles' first appearance?
Miles Morales, right. And then so here's this Voodoo action figure came out in it doesn't show a date on it, but there's the Miles there.
Well, here's the interesting thing. I want to look at sales on that figure. What is that figure? Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, see what it's going for now. So it's from the Amazing Spider-Man
Ultimate Comics Spider-Man figure, Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, 2012.
All right, let's take a look and see if this guy is selling. Or what the hell? I don't want action figure. Didn't I say action figure?
Yeah, you hit enter.
All right, here we go.
No exact matches found. So you might have to take out some of this wording.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh yeah, there it is. 59. Shit, buy it, bro.
Hold on. So this is a very interesting. We've talked about this spec before multiple times, but it's just a cool thing just to key in on it again.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to go to toys.
Or check on it every once in a while, right?
Nah, I mean,
you know what you should do? You should go back and copy the title that one had, and see if more pop up.
Where do I want to go?
Oh yeah,
toy?
the one that showed up.
Collectibles?
Yeah.
Is it in collectibles? Toy?
No, so scroll down where the other one was, Brian, where they showed the figure.
Yeah, hold on. I don't see it. I don't see it, dude.
I think you passed it.
No, so he's looking at sold now.
Oh, okay.
Instead of what's
so you got to change the title.
Yeah, bro.
So I would just hit back on your tab a couple times and see if you can copy that title, the one that did show up.
I would just type in 2012 Miles Morales figure and see what comes up.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
Why is this got to be so tough, dude?
Yeah, just type in 2012 Miles Morales figure. Mama. Figure. Make sure you put figure. No, see, Brian has to stick Spider-Man in there.
All right.
See, that's it. That's the one that's open.
37.
See, Walmart.
That one's 38 for that one.
That's the current one.
Yeah. 22. It's not it.
Hey, go up. Somebody's selling that second print of Spider-Man. Look at that. Wonder what that's going for.
Bro, you guys are gonna trip when you guys see, like, the prices on some of these are still not that great. $58 for the Legends.
Oh, I got the Legends.
I think I have some Legends Spider-Gwen ones. Dude, that Hot Toys is so badass, bro.
Yeah, I got that
one. Really cheap for the Hot Toys, $205.
Dude,
yeah,
this is such
cheap,
a cool.
man.
This is one of the coolest Hot Toys too. Look how badass
Well,
that is.
you got to think
Um,
a lot of people have Miles shit. You know what I mean? And then like people are going, it should sell because Miles is hot. Well, a lot of people already have scooped up a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about during the summer of COVID, man, that's what everybody was buying was Miles and Riri and Gwen. You know?
Look at this one. That's interesting. The one with
Uh,
Spider Ham.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's cool.
Yeah, only $20 for it, man. I'd be buying those all day, every
Do-
day. That's just
Those
cool to have on
retail
the
for like
shelf.
25.
That's
See
such
that
a
one?
cool-
Go back up like 150. See that second print? A little bit down,
Yeah,
right there.
here.
Yeah, see, I got a 9.8 in that. Some other guys selling it for like
Well,
2,500.
let's just get into it. Let's look at the Spider-Verse market on some of this stuff, man. Some of this stuff is interesting. What I find interesting is stuff like this, like the hip hop cover. This was like
yeah,
a
man.
$300 raw book, all day, every
Oh.
day.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, these, like I don't mean to piss on a parade or anything. You know what I mean? Fucking bring everybody's buzz down, but like, dude, this was a $300 book months ago. It's crazy. It's only at 180 now.
I would not buy that book raw. If you're gonna buy that book, fucking buy it already slabbed because
Yeah.
people know what's a hot book. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
they have slabbed it? They already know that it's probably got color rub or something. There's an issue with it.
Well, do you think it's like when people list out an auction at a really high starting price, like the most minimum they'll take for it, it'll go
Yeah.
for that because not a lot of people are watching that bid action because it's not hitting algorithms because it's getting bids every like whatever minutes or whatever.
Look at that one, Aaron, on the top. 17
Wow,
bucks. Are you
17
fucking
bucks for that?
serious?
Oh
V-
wow,
VF
VF
minus.
VF
Yeah.
minus though, so it probably has a lot of.
How about this one?
Yeah, I guess.
You got 4 issues of Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man for $127.50 raw. That's a pretty good fucking sale, in my opinion.
Isn't there one of those issues where it's like his first official costume or something like
Number
that?
Yeah, that's
2,
the
right?
one that sold for $17.
Yeah, the 5 issue.
Yeah,
5.
this one right here,
Oh, okay.
number
Yeah.
5.
I've got a
Stein.
bunch of those, but they're all
Yeah.
that very fine minus. That's a rough book.
I've got a couple of 9.8s that
Dude, that paper on those, man, that's
Yeah,
98
it's terrible,
rough on
man.
those.
9.6
Well-
for $685.
Well, I
With
mean,
the label.
hip hop covers did get a lot of new people into the hobby. Like,
Yeah.
there was a ton of people I've heard that like never collected comics a day in their life, and they're like, "But I do collect hip hop covers." So, I was.
Yeah,
that
I
was
try to
interesting
sell
one.
slabs on when we were selling on Laura's on Bird City's see, look, $50, man. Y'all could have had a fucking slab. I had 9.8s that I was trying to sell. Nobody wanted to buy
Look at
any.
this 9.8.
How much
for
were you
this.
selling it for?
550.
Um,
Less than 550 that sold for a 9.8 of that.
Oh, did you finally see the movie too?
This is a great fucking
no,
cover
I'm
too.
supposed to go. I was supposed to go today. What
Yeah.
happened?
Well, so okay, without like when you listed out all those books, I thought you had seen the movie. But I mean, like, it doesn't really spoil anything, if that makes sense.
$2,000
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
for a
signed.
signature series first print 9.8 with the Miles label, $2,000.
We sold our blue labels. What did we sell our blue labels at? I sold my personal, I think, at peak, and then I think Hive sold our blue labels for around that price, or 2,200. What, year and a half ago?
I was trying to catch that wave right before it started dropping in price, and I just missed it. And so I was like, oh, it doesn't matter to me. I'll just hold it. And then I ended up getting a second copy out of
You
a
ever
Stein
hear
pack.
of that word collusion?
Yes.
Okay, it seems like the community is colluding to the sellers, and
Oh.
they are not going to pay a premium.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like on.
I mean, that's a
Morales.
premium for a bagged one. That's not bad.
Bro, these were selling for $800 on
Absolutely.
Whatnot.
Mm,
I remember
that's
Drew
right.
was dropping these off for $800. You know what I mean? And that's on Whatnot. Like, I can't believe this. This just blows me away. Unless this is just gnarly. It might be gnarly. Let's take a look. You know, I could be way off.
Let me tell you, I'm exhausted from
Yeah, it's
pressing
gnarly.
fucking almost 10 of these on one
yeah, that's
shot,
gotta-
trying to get Wilbert some
That looks
98s.
like it got rolled.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
about to send
gnarly.
you another one.
Oh god, man, I'm sick of that book already, bro.
Well, it'll add to your label collection too as well.
Yeah, okay.
Look at this. Look at this right here.
Yeah,
$7.
that's a $20 book all day.
Well,
You
didn't
know?
that hit like
$7.
Didn't that hit like $50 at one point in
Yeah,
time?
it
But, I
did.
mean, I get
Yeah.
there was a like high political stuff happening
Yeah,
at the time.
timing on that.
Yeah, but I mean like but you could I mean at that time when it was hitting like $50-$60 or whatever, you could find it in back issues for cover.
Look at that one. The first appearance. What is that? That went for
Starling.
$40.
Yeah, 40 or it went for less than 40.
That was crazy.
I'm not gonna go look into like 130 point. There should be like a little add-on that you can get for 130 point.
Look at that
that'd be
Ultimate Fallout 3, the teaser.
Best
I'm
offer
just-
accepted.
I'm just kind of keeping an eye out for some of the cool ones that I remember just being so crazy, and some of the ones that I think you should be buying. I mean, there's some really great covers that you can buy for really cheap right now. I mean, you could buy these.
That's my favorite cover. I've got about 17 of those in 9.8.
Dude, $3 for this, and that's such a great cover.
Yeah, dude.
Such a killer cover right there.
Oh, look
I'll
at that.
tell you,
Michael
I
Ch-
just
Michael
missed out
Turner.
on. When was it? An hour ago.
Well, dang, those
About
1
an
in
hour
10
ago?
variants going for like
Dude, look
less-
at that.
almost
No,
cover
that
price.
motherfucker sold for $140, bro.
No, it's
Is
the
that a
omnibus.
foreign?
It's the omnibus
Oh my
hardcover.
god, dude.
hardcover. Yeah.
Hey,
Woo.
What were you saying,
Joe
James?
almost had a heart attack.
I missed out, dude. I thought I had it on my watch list. I was just gonna pull it up, but the Spider Woman 1, there was a near mint, like really nice looking copy. Really nice looking copy that ended about an hour ago, and I totally forgot I was watching it. But it sold for like $32.
So Aaron knows
And that
up.
book-
Well,
and that
what's
book
up
in
with that
98
second
was
print right
200.
there? That white one?
What second print?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
the
a crazy
the
book.
Miles.
Picelli? The Picelli? Picelli?
Yeah. I got a little stash.
Here you go. Second print Evil Miles 9.8. $128, you guys.
Now, see, is that going to be a thing, dude? Like,
yes. In a different
But
way,
it's-
though. In a
In a
different
di-
way.
yeah, it's not gonna follow the comic storyline.
Yeah, it's not going to follow the
Hey.
comics.
Save it for Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
What's Saturday?
You got to go
When
see
we
the
get-
fucking movie, dude.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Chop,
that's your
chop.
homework assignment.
9.8, the second print variants for 200. I still think picking these up
That's
200
my
or less are
favorite
great
one.
buys. That's
Yeah.
a great cover. Facsimile edition. I don't even know why anybody would buy this. The Tedesco 1 in 50. Ooh, I wonder what this sold for.
Oh, put the
Probably
title in the private chat,
1500.
and then I'll hit up on 130 point.
All right.
Dude, those Spider-Man, I was into those, first meeting of Miles and Spider-Man. Like, I had all the 1 in 30. They did like an odd ratio on that one. They did like 1 in 30s. But I had all those 9.8s, and I've still got a couple left. I can't move them to save my life right now. And it's
Are you
weird. You'd
kidding
think
me?
even right now you could, but hey,
Shout out Half Price Books.
Look up this one too. The
Okay.
Jurjevic.
I'll follow it. Yeah. What grade is it?
The Jurjevic's an
8.0.
it's an
8.0.
8.0.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Man.
What was Nico's? Remember Nico had one that he bought, and
Yeah,
Hood,
the
you tried to
9.0.
press it.
I
bought a-
did. He had an
he bought a
8.5. I
9
pressed it to a 9.0, and he still was mad.
No. So he originally bought it as a 9.0, got someone else to press it. It went down to an 8.5. Joe repressed it, got it back up to a 9.0.
Yeah, I mean,
That's kind of sad. I remember that story.
I
But
mean,
anyways,
And
but
what did he
like-
sell it for? He sold it. It sold for like what, like $6,000, $8,000? Did
I
it
have no
sell?
idea.
he sold it
Okay,
at Baltimore, right?
I think, yeah,
I-
right? Something like that.
I don't know for sure. Spider-Man 2 Tedesco variant 1 in 50, the 9.8 sold for $1,000.
Half price, nice.
Wow.
That's such a great cover. That's
I mean,
I wonder
such a
how
great
that
cover.
took place. Hey, will you take 1,000? Okay.
This is
Real
the
quick,
Walker.
slash.
That's the
It was
Walker
probably
method.
someone that got it for like, next to nothing in the back issue. Because like I know someone recently found one in Houston like 3 months ago, but I don't know if they sent it out for grading and stuff like that. All
Yeah.
right. Ultimate Fallout 4, Djurjevic 80, 6,000 Canadian. I don't know what
Ooh.
6,000.
So $4,000.
Okay.
Like what is that?
To
Like
US.
$4,000?
4,492 USD.
Okay. All right. So 8Os are going for 4,492.
So it was just like $200 less than what they had
They're
it.
more the best. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like
Yeah,
46
you know that motherfucker's gonna crack it open, dude.
Mhm.
at a 80. That's
Fuck
kind of worth the
yeah.
gamble. Yeah, that's
Hell
worth
Yeah,
the
at
gamble.
8, it's 100% worth the gamble.
Hell
Yeah.
A newsstand, Ultimate Fallout 3 newsstand, $30. That's an. See, these are the things like if I'm gonna continue to buy Miles stuff and look for Miles stuff, I'm looking for this type of stuff, this cheap stuff that's kind of rare. And I'm not saying like that's super rare, but it's more rare. Like these newsstands during this time period are tough to find.
bro.
Well, there's a good upside on those.
That
better
picture's-
upside than buying even his first appearance. It even though they're cheaper now than they were. There's a
That
better
picture's-
upside on some of his more obscure stuff that's not his first appearance than there is. Like percentage wise, there's more of an upside.
That picture scares me though, that you can't really see the spine as
Yeah.
well though.
You know,
But
the
I mean, it
Ultimate
is a
Fallout,
newsstand.
the Ultimate Fallout number ones. It's surprising that they don't sell because there's a picture of the
The connecting-
Djurjevic variant inside the fucking book.
In the book,
The whole connecting cover part.
Absolutely. So
Yep.
is that the first appearance? Is a picture of the motherfucker in there?
Previews before that.
Yeah.
Look at that, Ivan Tao, NYCC 2022, the red
that was a
drip.
beautiful cover though.
Oh
Hey,
my
bro.
god, bro!
So
Look
good.
at these
$225
colors,
for
Such a
that.
good cover.
$6.99 for the Raza variant.
Yeah, this
You
is
gotta be
ridiculous.
kidding.
Yeah, buy these all day, every day. I know they were open order, basically.
Yeah.
It still doesn't matter. It's such a good cover.
Oh, that's so stupid, man. Like, just hey, let me give you all my ad. Let me hit up all these people that are selling on eBay and just send me your books if you want to give them away.
It's very interesting, man. Look at that, a 9.8 for the regular sells for 150.
But I thought it was just normal Spider-Man as the original cover, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I'm
Alright.
so out of it. That's a great cover. That voices that
Oh
Copia.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I love
With-
that one. I've got
It's
two.
119
I've got
and a
two rods.
98.
Yeah, bro.
I've got two
Less
rods
than
of that sitting waiting to go to grading. Just because that's probably one of my favorite Miles covers that's been put out.
I remember in the height of pandemic and everything, that price of that book was like ridiculous. Or people
Yeah,
people were
it's
asking
not a
for. Like I saw it at cons for like $500, $750 and a 98, and I was just like kind of like, I can go on eBay right now and buy it for $200.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
second printing.
I like
That's
this.
a second printing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a second printing.
Great book right here. Love this.
Yeah, I got a shitload.
Do you got a lot of the second printings?
Oh fuck yeah!
This is a
Second
great book
and
too.
first printing.
The
Yeah.
Derek Chew.
Do I think, or do you think there's still a market for stuff like the Marvel Previews 95? I think it depends on the book, right, or the character. Like I would look for Malibu Sun 13, the error version,
Yeah.
over Marvel's Previews 95.
I'll take whatever I could find, man. If I find a Marvel's Preview 95, I'm taking it, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Marvel's 95 is still a great, nice
you buy
little
a
pickup,
9.4
nice
for,
little
like-
sale. I don't care what
you-
you think. Yeah, about
Would you buy
if-
Would you buy 9.4 for like $1,000?
You know, that sounds like a tale for another segment.
Oh,
Spider Punks.
I'll
Spider Punks.
tell you right now, I'm looking really hard at one of these Hot Toys Miles Morales figures after seeing that.
That would
Well-
look dope, dude. Get a little turntable set. May have somebody make you a turntable set.
I know,
yeah.
I know, dude actually does miniature. He does the 1/6 figure, 1/6 scale.
so do we.
Settle.
Shout out
What a
to
fun-
78 points of articulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a buddy who does the same stuff. In fact, I showed him. I was like, dude, you should go check out this other dude. And so, and it actually, I think 78 points actually inspired this dude to start his Instagram, because I was like, why aren't you showing this shit off? And he saw 78 points. He's like, yeah, this is cool as shit. So he did started. I think he's a couple hundred followers now, but he's been digging it.
That's a great little book right here. It looks good with the Miles thing on it too.
Mhm.
That's a good little book, man. Cool. This is, of course, look at $3 for that.
Oh wow, the Bird City and
Yeah.
Hive shared one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still sell that for more than that, and it still sells.
Let's see.
This
here.
is why you don't start books at $1 or certain books at $1.
You got to be
No,
careful with which ones you do.
This is why you scour. There you go. There you go. July
No way.
2011 previews catalog. It's not the Marvel's 95, but it's close.
No, but it's still one that people look for.
But you guys like books like this. Like if you could buy books like this for cheap, and then you could probably triple this, right?
If you get that graded at a show or great signing graded at a show,
That's a Rose Besh one, huh?
yeah, that's Rose Besh. Yeah,
I'm gonna paint the Nike swish on these little fucking shoes, dude.
There's a pair of shoes you can buy.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think
That's
it's
a
like
great cover.
I think it's like $50 though, or some shit like that.
No, I'll paint him one there, dude.
But it's not mint in box then.
Yeah, it might be.
Well, this stuff is it's still selling decently, but man, you see things like this, like that's such a great cover too. The Zulu variant, the cat. There's some still really cheap Miles stuff out there, and if you scour places like eBay and whatnot, and I mean, you could find some really good deals right now. I imagine on some of this stuff that's just worth picking up. It's worth having in your collection.
Man,
You see
Kalen was selling Spider-Man number 198s, dude. One after the other tonight.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
How much were
they
they
were
going
going for some went for 66, one went for 70, one went for 80. I mean, he was just giving them away, man.
Wow.
What's the market price for those now? Because I know they jumped up quite a bit. Because
They did for a little while, but it's like they've just been doing one of these deals. Because I sent all mine off that same book and the one in 30s, all that. I sent all those off to get graded because it was like, well, this is a $200 book, this is a $180 book, $165 book, and by the time I get them all back, and like I'm starting them at $100, and I'm lucky if I get a start bid on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. The market's
Well,
just been weird.
well, it's that book is heavily printed anyways. So like
Yeah, I mean
to-
heavily-ish, but
I mean, even the platinum version, how many copies are out there of that? There's like what 15,000 copies or something like that. Something stupid. Is it 10,000? I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's why I let mine go. I was like, this is hitting a ridiculous price. So I was like, gone. Because I bought it for so cheap too. At the same time, I kind of miss it, but I'm glad I still hold my chromium.
All right.
Hey, does this album go for anything? Run the Jewels.
Is it the first one or second one?
It's number 2.
What's the second?
It would it would depend on a lot of things, like the printing, what color the vinyl is.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. I've got a first, but I haven't looked up what it goes for because I'm not interested in selling it. They're influential. Dude, get it graded. Man, we talked about this a month and a half, 2 months ago. You'll get
The
vinyl
Steve
graded now.
Aoki grading company.
I just
Is that
got
a deal?
I got a shout out into the chat. Shout out to Mike Funhouse Comics. He says, I was
How's
just asked to leave Walmart because of my disruptive behavior, complaining of the poor inventory on Panini products and the disarray of your card section. So I was asked by security to go. I love it, man. I love it. You should have came in live from that.
That would have been amazing. Have security
Well,
says them out.
They're the colored LPs, Aaron.
The teal one just went on auction, sold for $27.37. But then there was one right before that sold for $100.
$27.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
So it looks like it's either in between, like 27 is the low is what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing like $50 is the high.
I hate it
Or
when I have
100 as
you
high.
look up the prices, Aaron, because they're always fucking cheap, dude. Like next time I'm gonna have Bryan, because when Bryan looks up the prices, they're more expensive.
They're better.
Well, sometimes like you'll also see like what people are asking for before you see the sold too as well. I mean, that's one thing that will trick up anyone on eBay, where it's like kind of like, oh, you can ask for whatever you want, but what did it sell for? Is the whole what's this real question, right?
8 Hood, does that have 8 in it?
Now this is Secret Wars 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted this one. I've got like 13 or 14 of the 1, 2, and 3s. I've been trying to get Phil's because Phil has the one with Secret Wars 8 on it.
Yeah, I have one of those, dude. It's pretty badass.
I know you
dude.
do.
Yeah. Hey, I want to go and take a look at last week's comments real quick, and we'll run down these. Last Saturday's last live show. We talked more about Across the Spider-Verse and all that stuff, and it was a good show. Luis Mendoza says, always a great show, never disappoints. Thank you, brother. That little Hulu Halloween book is an all-time grail book. I agree, and that's why Hood needs to send it my way.
Make me an offer, bro.
$50. 50 bucker fucker.
Chale.
Don't worry about that Mexican foil killing joke, Josh. I happily scooped up the Jenny Frizen Nightmare County foil at a fraction of the price of an original, and it's beautiful. That might be a decent play. I would pick one of those up just to have them. Shout out to Lewis OG. He says, fellas, catching you on the replay at Fan Fusion with my 4-year-old grandson Cam. Empire was always my favorite middle movie of a trilogy, but the Spider-Verse movie may have topped it. It's still simmering in my brain. By the way, I heard that Lord and Miller wrote an initial treatment of the Flash movie, and it will feel like this movie. We will see. That's the second person I've heard say that. Somebody else said that recently.
The last,
yeah. Good call. Volsey says only McClay would get the 6 in the morning reference. Dude, you don't understand. When first time I heard Ice-T do that Colors song, that the intro to Colors is one of the greatest songs ever. As a matter of fact, it's so good. I'm going to play it for you guys. Just a second.
Colors. Shout
out to all the Ice-T fans out there. Not very many OG Ice-T fans that know that 6 in the morning reference. All right, here we go. Let's go.
You remember that movie Ricochet, bro? That was badass.
Oh, dude.
With Denzel?
Oh, hell yeah, bro. All right, here we go. Let's do this.
What's up, Big Clutch?
Clutch in the house. All right, so for those of you guys that don't know, this right here, let me turn this up so the host can hear it.
He's got the motherboard out. Yeah.
Can you guys hear this? Hood and James and Yee, just let me know. No?
Oh, here.
Right here. That shit sounds amazing. Anyways, Anakin Jones says that Sheen card pull was kind of crazy, but you know it was even crazier than that? Pulling his dad in the same pack. Mark Robinson says, hadn't heard of the Biggest Problem show. I don't have a problem with someone criticizing ISOM or its creator. I don't tend to watch a lot of negative YouTube comic shows, but didn't Eric July get a huge following from criticism of comics and comics political agendas and their wokeness? Yes, he did, and we'll put a pin in that. You can't spew criticism and expect not to receive it. I don't know how Eric July is dealing with the criticism, but I hope he's dealing with it graciously. As long as the criticism is kept on the comic and doesn't get personal, I don't see a problem. Yeah, you have to be able to take some criticism sometimes, especially if you write a shitty comic. Then you really need to be able to take some criticism. It's still cool, bro. You still made $3 million on a Kickstarter because you want to start your own comic world. Like, don't get me wrong. Go hire some cool writers. But you got to be able to take some criticism. You wrote a shitty comic. It's really bad.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were talking about Ninja Funk for a second.
Yeah, you know, dude, I actually feel bad for JPG. Yeah,
I like
you know
JPG
what I mean?
as a person, and then I'm glad that he got to
by the
spread
way,
his wings and shoot
who's
out.
JPG?
By the way, we're gonna start calling JPG Ringo around here. Okay,
who's JPG?
He owns that Spider-Man booth. He's out of California. Probably the one of the most, if not the most genuine comic dealers on the planet that is in the convention scene. Just super nice, sweet dude. Guy's an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
It was a pleasure to meet him and everything too.
Yeah,
well.
such a nice guy.
He just kind of got screwed, and he got what's his name? Lobos.
Well,
he's the reason we use Lobos for covers. He hand walked me over there and was like, "Hey," and then later, Ninth walked us over again and was like, "Hey, you got to see this dude." And when I heard it from both of them, I'm like, "Well, shit, we definitely got to talk to this guy now." You know?
Yeah. I hear you. I think he's a good dude. I think he's a real good dude. I hope that he gets to do 25 issues. I know he recently came out with a thing saying that he wanted to do 25 issues, so we'll see how
Where's
that plays
RGV?
out. Huh?
I'm reading the super chat.
Shout out to the Comic Chef for the $9.99 super chat that says, "Thank you for helping me out on my downtime at work. Red Hood and Yeezy, next time you're down in the RGV, look me up at Papado. Bring along James and McClay." RGV.
I thought he was based out of Vegas.
Oh,
right?
RGV, the Rio Grande Valley.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
What is
Yeah,
it?
they're not bringing me along anywhere near the Rio Grande Valley.
Oh, come on. Don't be scared.
Yeah,
You look part
yeah.
Mexican, James. You can pass for it. Orale, 3 puntos.
I've been asked all the time. People come up and speak Spanish to me all the time. Like,
Yeah, there you go. See, man, you look Hispanic.
I have
Your
no
blue
clue.
eyes are turning brown, James.
I think I'm supposed to go down to Corpus with my band again.
Get the
We're
fuck
supposed to
out of
play-
here. When are you coming down, bro?
I'll find out from the band again when we're playing, and I'll let you know at advance in the time. Instead of telling you the day
Yeah,
before.
no shit.
No,
right.
actually, I thought I gave you notice.
All right, you guys. So we
I don't
gotta
remember that.
we gotta figure out the bro count from last episode, right?
Oh yeah.
And
There was a prize involved in that.
there was a prize involved, but I don't know if somebody chose it or not. But I think that we can go through it and find the bro count. You ready? Let's look for the bro count. So starting at 310, it says, let's take a look here. First bro of the episode.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Dude, that's like Mercenant age of podcasting.
yeah, bro.
Hey,
So-
I'm gonna be a pain in the ass. I'm gonna go mobile again.
All right, brother. So there's bro 2. It looks like there's 96 of them. We might be at 96, you guys. 96 bros. Let's see here.
Nice.
That's a pretty good count. I like that count. We're at 55. We are
See,
at
I think Kirkham has the best number.
83,
42,069.
89, 92. Wait, 96 bros. We got 96 bros in that episode. So I don't see anybody that chose 96. You got 45, 43. We'll have to go back and check the chat if there was anybody that did say 93, 96, 96. Let us know, and the timestamp of when you said it, because it should be on the bottom, displayed on the YouTube thing. But 96 bros last episode on Saturday night. So
I thought
congratulations.
it'd be higher than that, honestly.
Yeah. It was pretty impressive, bro. It was actually very impressive. I was very impressed. Very impressed. Yeah, shout out to Big Clutch. 42,069 bros. We might have to take a bro count of the entire year. Like that'd be like a big huge jar of M&Ms, and you got to guess how many they are. How
Bro,
many
that's a
bros
lot
for
of
the whole
bros.
year?
I'm
All
sure
right.
there's closer to 69,420.
Yeah. All right, we're at 90 live right now, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure to hit those thumbs up.
Ooh.
There's only 19 likes on this. You guys, 91 viewers right now. Only 19 likes. Hit that like button and let us know right now at the hour mark. We're about to hit the hour mark. So every show at the hour mark, we're going to ask the live chat to let us know how many bros in this episode. Let us know It's at the every hour mark of every show, and you guys can see people's answers.
I don't know what
below.
it is, man. Every show we do, Brian, we always get viewers that don't have any thumbs, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Why- so they can't give us a thumbs up, man.
yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, just give
it's
me
okay,
something.
guys. Like, it's a disability, dude. I got you.
All right, you ready to get into it, brother?
Oh, are we getting into the highs?
We ought
mids,
to
and
have a
lows?
little signal,
we
like
should.
closed caption for the hearing impaired, like something
Mhm.
for the thumbs.
All right, y'all be kind to me because this is the first time I'm doing this segment. So if it gets good responses, we're gonna deep dive into other sports. But
What are we doing here?
You're gonna like this. Ed.
yeah, so how are the highs, mids, and lows? Like this classic scene in Half Baked, right? So all the time I get people asking me like, "Hey, what sports cards do I buy?" And it's kind of like, well, that's too open-ended of a question. Like, I have no idea what your budget is, how much you're really into that sport. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you looking to buy sealed product and just hold it for a while and see where it goes, or are you just trying to look for case hits or all that? So basically, what I'm doing is I'm breaking down each sport and which products like people chase after the most, right?
Yes, we are doing cards, Funhouse.
Yeah,
Everybody, this is a card segment, and also shout
Yeah.
out to Brad Selden live on the in the Discord. What's up, brother?
Yeah, so for this segment, I'm covering over football, basketball, and baseball. And then Nate's going to help me out with hockey. I'm going to reach out to Stein to help me with soccer. And then I'll probably talk about some F1 and then just like crazy off the wall products that like are high risk and then not always a high reward, right? So, but anyways, let's get into high football. There's 3 different products I chose that people chase after all the time: Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate. I'll put that as like a third tier, like first, second, third. Flawless is a ridiculously priced case. It comes in a briefcase, $6,000 per box. It's like 12,000 per case, and there's only 2 briefcases in that, so you're getting 20 cards for like $15,000. But if you do hit something like this, a 1-of-1 NFL Shield player worn jersey autograph 1-of-1, you
just
get some
retired.
big,
Yeah.
you basically just retired from everything you've ever invested into.
Yeah.
But there's on average, okay, so there's 10 cards per box. This is just for a hobby box. First off the line has an extra card in it, encased card in it as well, but I didn't write down what the averages on there. So in a hobby box, you'll get 6 autos, 2 to 3 relics, 2 gems on average, and then so you have like 2 encased cards and then a box of everything else, where it's like the autos. You can get all kinds of players. Like you can get rookies in there, you can get legendary players. So
What is this
one
for?
of the most
Immaculate?
no, this is for Flawless.
Okay.
Yeah, so one thing you always need to do before you buy into any product is check out the checklist. See what rookies are in there, see what players are in there, because then you can get an idea. You can also watch like different card breakers break open some of these products before you buy into it. In the high range, I would say sometimes it's cheaper to buy into like just buying single cards instead of opening a $6,000 box, because you could end up with like complete crap in there. The middle, I have National Treasures. I ended up showing off of a RP, what's labeled as a RPA, which is a rookie patch auto. There's a lot more science into it too, like what are true RPAs, which I think are those are numbered out of 99, if I'm not mistaken.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
The way that card companies are, I'm really sour at card companies right now, man. It's really rough. I mean, you look at this, and it's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's a whole nother level. How many cards are you gonna have that are 1-of-1s and then just make 1-of-1s not cool again, and you got to start doing -5s to 10 and whatever. It's like negative
Yeah.
numbers. It's like, what are we doing? You're
Just adding more parallels.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's-
dumbing down the hobby. It's the same thing with like the exclusive retailer homage variant stuff. It's ruining the retailer variant or the homage variant, There's just too
Yeah.
many of them. They're not cool anymore.
I think what you have to really do is when you're looking at a card to buy or whatever, like look at the patch on it. Like look at the auto. Is it on card auto? Is it a sticker auto? Like how do the corners look? How do the edges look? Especially like in these high end products too, the cards are thicker. You're not gonna always get 10s on it. It's the price is like the card grading or the grading the card can always be the downfall of it. Like that's why I think like what the triple LeBron logo man card, why they ended up just authenticating it instead of actually putting a grade to it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a 1-of-1, man.
It's a 1-of-1 and it's a triple logo man as well on top of that, right?
Yeah. I could care less. I just saw that thing raw.
Yeah. So for National Treasures, it's a similar kind of configuration to Flawless, but it doesn't come in a elaborate briefcase. It kind of comes in a this is a baseball one, but it comes in a similar kind of box like this, right? Where it's like sealed, you can see it, and then like you just have one box in there. It'll only have like 10 cards in it. For football, you're on average you'll get like 4 autographs, 4 memorabilia cards, and I think it was like one base insert.
You guys,
yeah, So per card, that's super pricey.
These are super high risk, super high reward.
Yeah, but again, if you're investing into a certain player, I would just look into like individual singles.
Yeah, unless you got fuck you money, I'm not buying this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Or unless maybe you want to get into some type of break. But here's the crazy thing: like these aren't going to be the only high value cards here in the future. Guess what? Topps is going to be doing Chrome for football this year. They're coming back. You know what I mean? They're going to be doing basketball, Chrome. Topps is going to be doing all of it again, other than hockey. So, add 3 more top tier sets from Topps. It's going to be flooded. The market is going to be so flooded.
Well, the one crazy thing about all 3 of these high end products, right? You can hit an NFL shield in any of these 3. I mean, like it's really hard to, right? Unless you're just sitting there opening case after case after case. But at the same time, like, does pulling an NFL shield, like, is that even special anymore with all 3 of these products having it? And the last section I have Immaculate up there. It's $1,600 per box. There's 6 cards in that box, 5 autographs or relics on average. So it's not like a 5 and 5. It's like a like a weird split, like a 3.
And you're gonna get like a Felipe Sparks.
You're gonna get random players that no one's ever heard of.
You're gonna get Reggie Bush, Felipe Sparks, Matt Leinart.
So so this is these are for all the gamblers and all that, but I figured I'd kind of go over some of the stuff. All right, for your mids, I have Prism, Absolute, and Optic. These are the main case hits that you can hit out of all 3
I would
of
put
these.
Select there too.
Yeah, I need to add Select to it. So I can add that to the other stuff because
this is where 90% of people play in the pack opening, box opening. If you guys want to go gamble, this is where 90% of people play in this range. It's a lot of fun. This is 90% of stuff that we open is in this range.
Yeah, and this is what people want to hit out of those cases, right? Color Blast for Prism. A Prism box costs you about $1,100. I don't like most of these products came out within the last 3 or 4 years. There's 12 packs per box. 12 cards per pack. On average, you're getting 2 autographs, 10 numbered prisms, 4 silvers, 3 inserts, and 24 rookies. For absolute, it's about $789 per box. There's three packs per box, and then there's 5 cards per pack. I've been using Cardboard Connection to like find out what averages of what you can find out of the hobby boxes. For absolute, people are always chasing after the kabooms. And then, again, check checklists to find out who rookies are of kabooms, or what players have kabooms, because not all players have that. It's usually a pretty small checklist. For Optic, people are chasing the downtowns. The price per box is $525. You're gonna get 20 packs per box, and there's 4 cards per pack. It's not
so ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
$500 for a hobby box.
Right, but then you're also comparing it to like retail. Like you can pull downtowns in retail as well. I would say probably 1 out of every other case or something like that. Like every 3 cases or so. So it just depends on
Richie.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Richie,
unless you're Richie
and Rhino from Rhinoverse. Like Rhinoverse, was pulling downtowns out of every blaster box that he picked up. Richie was doing it too. I mean, there's certain people that got a hot hand, and they just like Nate. Nate walks into his wife. It's not Nate, it's his wife. His wife walks into a store, buys 4 blaster boxes, and pulls 4 autos. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, but I stay away from expensive hobby, man. I'm not doing it anymore. It's just not worth it. I know there's some downsides, there's upsides. If I'm gonna buy an expensive hobby, I'm gonna do the boombox service and just try to take a shot at multiple different products.
So for football, I know for Prism they have a mid in between box. Like for Prism, it's called No Huddle. It's about like half of what you would get in a hobby box, right?
Like
so instead
no
of 2
auto.
Yeah, so instead of 2 autos, you're getting 1 auto.
Yeah.
So it's about half of that, and it's probably about the same amount of cards within this mid range. This is what breakers are buying. They're buying cases of each of these products.
And these cards that he is talking about, that you see these specifics, we call them downtowns. That's the card on the far right. Those are that style of card insert. They call them inserts. They're rare. There's only usually 1 per case, and they're called downtowns because that's just the style of card that they've always called it. And they do like this elaborate paint behind them. The kabooms, obviously, those are the same thing. And then the color blasts are on the left there. Those are the name of the case hit inserts. You also are able to get parallel rookies and stuff. To me, that's always the big things. I mean, I would love to, again, if I'm going to push you guys somewhere for card collecting, it's base refractors for studs and parallel rookie refractors for rookies and prospects. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna be a Shohei Ohtani collector, just get all his try to get color matches on all of his stuff every year, and base refractors, because base refractors just look good. You can put them in a 1-touch. You can put them in. They always look good.
Yeah. Oh, Brad Tillman brings up a good point about game used versus player worn. So when I get to basketball, high end, we'll talk about that. We'll bring up that topic as well. All right. So I'm going to go into the low end. I just put regular Donruss and Mosaic. I put hobby. I know I showed a Genesis here. Genesis are retail only, so you can get that out of Mosaic, which is the card on the right, and then on the left is the downtown Donruss. So you can get like where it's not like the same non-chrome, I guess, non-chrome card, non-refractor
paper,
but it's still foiled. So think of like a rainbow foil out of like Topps 1 series.
It's like a Bowman paper and a Bowman chrome.
Yeah. And then so these are prices for hobby boxes: 300 for Donruss, 18 packs per box, 10 cards per pack. You're gonna get 1 autograph and 1 rookie, 18 rated rookie cards, 12 parallels, and is that 42 inserts? Yep. And then for Mosaic, price per box is $450, 10 cards per box, 15 cards per pack, 2 autos, 5 silvers, and Mosaic parallels, and 20 inserts. Again, the Genesis is retail only, so you'll only find that in Cellos, Blasters. Do they have Megas for Mosaic? I can't remember.
Yeah, they have
For football. For
I can't
football,
remember either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't.
Yeah, I guess it's. I know they did for basketball. I don't know if they did for football, but anyways. All right, yeah. So those are the lows. But yeah, at the same time, you can still get some really great inserts that have great returns if you hit PSA 10s. If you hit the player at the right time, if you're selling at the right time too. Like right now, I would be buying football cards, but as we get closer and closer to the season, that's when I'm getting ready to see how players are selling and start selling some of those
during the
cards
draft
off.
and the months leading up to football is the time to be selling football,
Exactly.
buying it, during the season, I guess.
Well, I like to buy off season and sell during the season.
Yeah,
that's when players jump up in price. All right, but anyways, all right. So for basketball, I have National Treasures on the far left, Flawless in the middle. These are both. You can see patches in the card as well. On the backs of the card, it'll say this game this jersey was worn during a player used game, or it says player worn versus this is for a specific area. It says this patch was worn during a game versus just a player worn event. So a player worn event is just something that a Panini rep gave them a jersey to wear, and then they took it back from them. For a game use is this was actually used in a game, and then sometimes you can tell with the dirt, sweat stains, stuff like that. A lot of Flawless products are game used. For the National Treasures, it's about a split. It just depends on what year product you're buying, things like that. So you just have to read on the back, and then most card sellers will put the back of it, and so you can zoom in and see if it says player worn or game used.
I think all of Flawless is game used.
I think all of Flawless is. I don't think all of National Treasures is.
National Treasures, but I'm pretty sure all of Flawless, 100% of their patch or their.
I would still check though, just in case it's not. I showed 1-in-1 here. That's one of those high risk, high reward boxes, kind of. I will say. So the parallels don't always match up from sport to sport. You can only get downtowns in 1-in-1, but to pay for a 1-in-1 box is freaking crazy. It's $900 per box, and there's only 2 cards in there, and then one's an autograph, and then you have a chance of hitting a downtown out of 2 cards. I mean, if you look up right now, LaMelo Ball 1-in-1 downtown rookie cards in the PSA 9, I think they're going for $600. So if you want to get a case hit, you can just buy a PSA 9 already graded, cheaper than actually trying to pull one. So James and I were kind of talking about that beforehand before the show. So
same way, even some of the higher end Flawless, their autos, I think the highest auto you can get is numbered to 15 or something like that.
Oh, here you go. Brad Selden saying he has a Flawless dual relic. One is game used and one is player worn.
Oh, okay.
And he's got a badass one by Bill Parcells and Lawrence Taylor. That's amazing.
Oh, nice. The one thing I wish they did for the game use memorabilia, if they told you what game that it was worn on.
Yeah.
Just because I think it would give it something a little bit extra for that relic.
Topps does that.
Yeah, I know Topps used to do that back in the day. I don't think they do it as much anymore now, right?
No.
Or is there a way to look it up? I think there's a way to look it up.
Yeah.
I just don't remember the exact process. It has something to do with that that I think that code at the bottom, like that's like really fine, that you'll have to use your phone magnifying glass or an actual magnifying glass to actually see it. Again, check the checklist to see, like, make sure your rookie that you're chasing after is in that product. Because I know it happens a lot in baseball. I in basketball, like, it's kind of weird in basketball, right? That they're behind like a year, so you know which products to buy in the like which rookies you're chasing after, and if that rookie's gonna did good their first year.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy part.
Well,
To
think
me.
about this. This is one of the things that I love about cards is that you can go back and look at some of the biggest players in the sport right now were chosen in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth round. You know, like Giannis and Jokic, two best players in basketball, were third and fourth round guys, and that's why when you look for collections and you see stuff around that time period, you just pick it up because there's a great chance it's going to be in there. That's what happened when I bought that big collection recently. It had Giannis rookies and Jokic rookies in there from Prism. The Jokic is a green refractor. The Giannis is just a base, but they were in there because at the time those guys were nobodies. They were fourth, fifth, sixth rounders, you know. So
Yeah.
it's very
Well-
interesting. You can still make money buying these collections, you know, because these guys weren't big at the time.
About a
Well-
good some dude on eBay had this crazy pack. It was like 1920 and 1921. It was just a bunch of random NFL rookie autos. It was like 30 auto cards. I think I paid maybe $80 for it. But I looked at it and I'm like, if one of these players, one out of these 30 players ends up becoming anything, like the money's there.
Yeah.
You know, but there's deals like that out there to be had. What I've seen about Flawless too, like I've looked up some Flawless card. You can buy on-card auto Flawless cards because they're not the diamond inserts and they're not the big cards. I mean, you can get numbered Flawless cards for, I mean, you can find
Well-
money for cheap.
I mean, I bought this RPA of Will Fuller, the Nike swoosh, for like less, and this is out of two. I bought it for less than $300.
Yeah.
I mean, I only bought it because I knew the guy. And then I thought it was just kind of funny. And then I was also like, I just want a Nike swoosh card. I don't care who the player is. I just want one that's affordable. And then like to pick up some, you know, a card of someone that I knew that was a neighbor and all that, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then plus it gets that monkey off my back where it's like kind of like, okay, now I don't have to like chase down like some crazy Nike swoosh card that's going to cost me like $10,000 or something like that. All right, for the mids on basketball, I put Prism. Prism, I was a little iffy on putting on that. I mean, I know it's the most popular like card that like people are going to chase after, but there's no major case hit. Like there's no color blast in Prism for basketball. That's in Spectra. The price of the box is about $1,500. 12 cards per box, 12 cards per pack, 2 autos, 22 Prism parallels, and 10 inserts. I know that's always usually like what the gold standard for rookie cards that people always want, especially like when they were first coming out with the silvers.
But you know what? Optic is taking over. It's
Yeah,
starting to take over.
Yeah, so that's exactly why I put Optic on the far right. In hobby, this is the case hit, which is called a starts with a P. Do you remember the name of this parallel that I'm showing? Someone in the chat will know, but yeah, I should have wrote that down. Photon. There we go. This is a Cade Cunningham rated rookie. This is where I like Optic. The retail price right now for a hobby box is like $300. And the height of the cards during pandemic, Optic was going for like $700 for just the hobby box. Like first off the line was $1,000. Most every year is configured exactly the same. 20 packs per per box, 4 cards per pack, 1 autograph, and then you'll get 20 inserts / parallels. And they do pretty good about that. When boxes were that high, like at 700, I enjoyed the fast break, which is like the no huddle for football.
Yeah.
In the mid range, I put Crown in there, Crown Royale. So this box I'm a little iffy on if it's like last year they had the whole scandal where people were breaking the sequence to find the kabooms, which is the case hit out of these boxes. I say box, but there's only 1 pack per box, and there's only 8 cards in there. So it's one of those like high risk boxes. But I mean, if you hit a rookie kaboom, and that player does very well, like in a 10, those cards go for thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you can get good money out of those, but
yeah, even second year or third year or whatever year, for depending on how popular the player is as well. But yeah, I put that in the mid. But at the same time, like, I don't know if I would buy singles of kabooms. Like, would any of y'all pay for just a single of a kaboom, or would you like just take the kind of like if you had like $500 to like kind of like, or you got like $500 in gift cards or whatever to eBay, would you just like kind of buy a box and take a chance?
I'd pull the handle and take a chance for sure.
Not me. You know my feelings on Panini product.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck them.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna go over the lows and then get into baseball soon. So we're gonna end out the night with tops. All right, so I showed the Genesis again for Mosaic, which is the LaMelo rookie. That's again a retail only. I'm going over the stats for hobby. I just thought it was the flashiest card that like people could chase after. So this is out of cellos. So retail would be cellos, blaster boxes, and mega boxes. For a hobby box, you're looking at about $250. 10 packs per box, 15 cards per pack, 1 auto, 20 parallels, 20 inserts. I do really like the honeycomb as well. Very beautiful parallel. If you haven't seen that before, check out Richie's channel, Sspec Media. He definitely has pulled multiple Mosaic honeycombs and Genesis out of retail. So just to give you an idea, I showed retail optic. You can pull these beautiful checkerboard inserts. Retail boxes for every different year I've seen is around $80. There's 20 packs per box, 4 cards per pack. You can tell the difference between, because it's configured the same as hobby, you can tell the difference between retail versus hobby depending on who the picture is on the box. And then hobby boxes will say hobby in cursive on it somewhere. I just put this on there. I mentioned Fast Break earlier, which is like the cut in half version of the hobby counterpart, but I would say it's only usually available in card shops, but it also is like a step above retail. H2 hybrid products, I like that as an in-between product as well too. They have their own certain parallels to it, and it's not as many cards as like a full hobby box or a full retail box. It's somewhere in between, but the hits are kind of nice in that. T-Mall, I just brought that up because it's a Asia only product, and it's compared to like a Amazon of Asia, but they do have their own Panini lines for different products. They'll use the same names as some of these the high-end hobby products, but you won't necessarily always hit their case hits. They have their own parallels to it, where it's like a red wave or a gold wave. Gold waves are way harder to hit than the red waves. They don't always have numbered cards in there, but there sometimes are numbered cards. Not as many as like the American product. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get into baseball for the highs. I put Definitive in there, which is a 10 card 10 cards per box. Your average is 6 autos, slash auto relics, 2 relics. The cost is $3,100. I mean, I would definitely not spend that much money just to rip a box.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because there's no guarantee of what you're going to hit in there. But I mean, sometimes you can just pull a monster. It's something like if someone's doing a very big break that you could just kind of, what is it? Like if someone's throwing that into a break and then you're just trying to, maybe get one of those cards out of it. This is I also put in diamond icons. A lot of these products you can get die cut, or you can get cut checks like this. This is what a man, or is that Babe Ruth? Yeah, Babe Ruth cut check. So because obviously we can't get Babe Ruth cards, autos anymore, but his checks still exist, and Topps has been making cards out of these for years. Price per box is $3,400. There's also only 10 cards in this. There's 7 autographs, 2 relics, 1 relic card. Yeah, I don't see myself ever spending this much money just to rip a box.
A lot.
Yeah, like I think it would just be fun to like chase after certain players that you're really following. The one that the least amount of the lowest price box on here is Sterling. That's $1,100. $1,100 for a box, but there's only 2 cards per box in that, and it's usually like a younger player, and then like a there's all kinds of configurations for it now. So definitely just check out checklists. You're guaranteed 1 autograph and 1 relic, or 1 additional hit. So that could almost mean anything. Whether it's like a bat knob, like some sort of configuration like that. So I just kind of highlighted cards that I thought looked amazing. The patches on these are always super impressive. But yeah.
Yeah. That's good shit.
All right. For the mids, I figured I'd bring up the Bowman Chrome for 2023. That was very interesting this year.
Yeah.
With Topps introducing the Dutch auction. The prices that I got were from Cardboard Connection. This is what they're currently selling for. I think the high buy-in for Sapphire this year was $750, and it got us, and then I think it sold out right at the floor, which was $350. What I thought was super interesting for Bowman Sapphire this year was that they changed the configuration of the box again. That you would get 1 Sapphire Chrome Prospect Auto and 3 colored parallels in there. Most of the time in previous years of Sapphire, it's a lot of Bowman products will have the auto, and then usually like 2 colored parallels to it. There's some years that don't have any autos at all, and you just get like two colored parallels. I've had a box where I've pulled 3 colored parallels out of it, so that does happen. I've noticed a lot in 2023 Bowman Chrome Sapphire that there was people were pulling anywhere from 2 to 4 colored parallels in there, and then there's also additional variations to different cards. So that's something you definitely need to check in the checklist, and you can also write.
101 Papadopoulos got pulled.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it Bless Sports that pulled it?
I don't think so.
Or was it Filth Bomb? It was.
Can't remember.
It was, yeah. I put in Topps Chrome Sapphire in the middle. Right now for the 2022, those boxes are going for $300. The high of that was like what, $500, $700 or something like that. So prices will always fluctuate depending on how hot players are out of that product. I think the rookie class for 2022 is just loaded. I think we're seeing a lot of the sophomore slumps right now, so it might be time to buy some of those players. There's some players that had been playing a little bit longer, like Wander Franco, you notice how his cards are semi going up, but he's playing a lot better than he was at the end of last year, right? 8 cards per pack, or per 8 cards per box, 4 cards per pack, 2 parallels. And then I put Bowman Sterling at the end. I really like that product. It's in a hobby box. There's 5 mini boxes, aka packs. Each pack has a autograph in it. So for 5 autos, $350. I don't think that's bad at all. I don't remember how many cards per pack, but I think it's like 6 or something like that. The number of cards usually changes per year, depending on checklists, stuff like that. So that's what I have at mids. And then for the lows in baseball, even though like to us, like this is a lot of stuff that we talk about, I put 2023 Bowman. Hobby box right now is about $250, 24 cards per box, 10 cards per pack, and you get 1 auto. From what we've seen so far, autos are coming out of retail like crazy. You've seen Bryan, you've seen Nate and his wife pulling 4 blasters, 4 autos. I've opened 2 retail boxes, and out of 1 retail box, I got like 5 colored, and the other one I ended up getting 2 color and 1 auto. So to me, that's just been completely insane.
I pulled out of my retail that I opened, I pulled 2 Justin Crawford autos.
Nice.
And 1 Justin Crawford numbered to 15.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Justin Crawford is one of the top tier players in the set.
Yeah.
Carl Crawford's son, super stud. Obviously, you have Drew Jones in there. You got Cam Collier. This junior Caminero kid is a stud. I pulled an auto of his the other night. I mean, Bowman retail is to me where it's at. And
yeah, go ahead.
Usually I shit on it, but it's the place to buy right now. But here's the problem. You're going to have less of a chance at the high value autos than you would if you bought a hobby. You're going to pull what are called paper autos, which they reserve for retail only. So I pulled 20 total autos, I think, out of my 2 cases. I got a case of retail boxes and a case of blasters, and I pulled 20 total autos. Of those total autos, 10 were paper and 10 were chrome autos. So the paper autos, 90% of them are like throwaways. You know what I mean? They're 6 round, maybe never even drafted. They don't even have a regular card. They just got autos.
Yeah.
Mostly pitchers.
Well, and the thing about each of these products that release every year, you kind of have to wait and see until more people will start opening it to get a real idea of what's going to come out of the box.
Yeah.
Because what Bryan just said about 2023 Bowman may not even apply to 2022 Bowman or 2021 at all. Like where you just want to open hobby boxes or even jumbo boxes. So it's one of those things that I can't tell you hey, always buy blasters, always buy mega boxes. There's no right answer for that because it depends on what year of the product you're opening.
Yeah, and it'll change again next year.
Yeah, so okay, I put Series 1 tops on here because that's the flagship product. As soon as that product is releasing, we know that baseball season is about to start. This year's the jumbo boxes for Series 1 were completely loaded. Tons of gold. They lowered the odds on it. I felt like they wanted more people to buy jumbos. In jumbos, you get 3 autos, 2 silver packs. I put the stats on here for hobby boxes. I personally like buying hobby boxes just because I don't need a ton of base cards everywhere. My rooms are starting to fill up with cards way too much anyways. I'm about to start pulling a Bryan and just start throwing away my base besides the rookies. I'm just joking.
It's
I'll
not
probably
worth
try to
it,
put.
man. Unless you're selling the sets, it's just
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can build out a set with some
Yeah.
of those, some of the different cards I have. But anyways, I put the stats for Hobby Box, $90 per box. The one thing I don't like about Hobby Series 1 is that you can either get one autograph or relic card. So that's the sad part, that like, you know, you're not guaranteed an auto in every box, and you could just end up with like a not even, and when it says relic card, it could just be a fabricated relic card where it's not even player worn or game used at all, where it's just like something they made like within the card factory. I do like the silver packs. This is very similar to the Bowman Mega boxes with the Mojo packs. $90 per box for a hobby. It's not too bad. I like
it's
to
not
open
bad
at least.
all. Not
Yeah, I
bad
like
at
to
all.
open one at the beginning of the season, and then like I'll buy 2 boxes and hold another one. Like right now, I'm holding a 2021, 2022, and 2023 Series 1 hobby box of each year. Just so, as a thing of, hey, I got back into cards. I'm just going to hold a hobby box for a while. Just for the, like, and if I ever want to get into the nostalgia of like opening those boxes again, I'll just bust one out. The cool thing about Series 1 and Series 2, they have the home run challenge cards in that as well, where you get a scratch off card and you can put a code into the Topps website and guess when that player is going to get a home run. You can enter in that day just as long as it's before the game starts.
Yeah, and you get a redemption for that, don't you?
They actually send you a card.
Yeah,
They send you a card. If you guess it, you can double down and get a different parallel as well. I put in a picture of 2022 Topps Chrome, which is a sore subject for a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I just saw the Ray Wave. Topps Chrome is one of my favorite products every year. Like I'll rip a ton of Topps Chrome. I put the breaks on last year, and I kind of lucked out on that. I mean, I know Richie and Bryan got super lucky and pulled the Julio
Super
short print.
tough, rare.
Yeah, I
Good
mean,
luck.
they really messed up on the providing the short print rookies for that product.
I've never even seen them.
Actually, now that you mention it, like I've seen them on eBay and stuff like that, but I've never seen the video of anyone pulling him.
It might be a time to pick some of those up, man.
Oh yeah, that's true. Especially since you saw the price dipping on the
Julio's are dipping. Bobby Witt's dipping. By the way, very, very cool write-up on Bobby Witt in this month's PSA magazine. Bobby Witt is a huge card collector. He says the first thing he does every morning, he doesn't go and look at scores. He doesn't go look at his, sports stuff. He goes and looks at cards. So he's a huge collector, which is very, very cool. And he collects his own stuff, which is even cooler. I mean,
that's really cool.
yeah.
Well, yeah, Drew Jones tried buying his 1-of-1 Superfractor.
Did he really?
Yeah, like to the person that that pulled it before they made a decision to sell it to David Adams. He was like, "Yo, let me get that." on social media. I mean, yeah. I do like how in recent years that Topps has introduced this new parallel, the Ray Wave.
Yeah.
Is the only reason why I kind of featured it, and then yeah, again, Topps Chrome is one of my favorite products to open.
Yeah, it's good shit, man.
Yeah, but yep, and that's all I had for this segment.
Well, good shit. This is something that we get asked all the time, information about collecting and stuff. And I know a lot of you guys weren't really into cards. But yeah, very interesting stuff. So thank you for that, Aaron. One thing I do want to talk about that's kind of sad. Lost a icon to a sport today. We lost the IronSheik. Passed away at 81 years old. Absolute legend, not only in as a athlete and in the sport, but also he's a legend in social media. If you guys didn't follow his social media accounts, there's a problem. He was fucking classic. He's also a wrestling legend, right? So, I mean, this guy was a real athlete in a big way. You hear a lot of guys talk about him. So I thought it was a kind of a bummer. And I know there's a lot of wrestling fans out there that, especially in the comics world, I would love to look and take a quick peek in on some of the sales, maybe on any of those Raza covers that went. You remember those? What were those in? Let's see here. But yeah, passed away at 81 years old, man. This is the card right here, the OG rookie card for the Iron Sheik at a Wrestling All-Stars. This is a PSA 10. Somebody wants 15 grand for it. Let's go ahead and take a look at some sold sales on this. But you guys know how this works. Unfortunately, when somebody passes away, it means, you know, people are making profit on their items. And I don't know if I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing in a situation like this, because for the most part, people, you know, don't think about the Iron Sheik every day. They hear he's passed away. They're like, oh man, I remember the Iron Sheik. I love that guy. You know, I'm gonna go look at his see if there's any cool toys. I remember having his toy as a kid. Here you guys can see some of his sealed mint on card toys selling. They had autographed cards of them. They even did pops for them, which is amazing. But yeah, man, that Wrestling All-Star card is a tough card. Any of those cards in that set are tough. But here you guys can see some of the sales on. He did a lot of cons, signed a lot of stuff. Look at that. He's got his own Allen and Ginter card. Maybe we'll pull an Iron Sheik autograph one of these days. Look at that.
That's all you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like he inscribed it with different stuff too, which is yeah.
Yeah.
We could go down a whole rabbit hole about that too.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Look at this. Didn't have the best handwriting, but he was 81 years old. Lived a crazy life. Super athlete as a young man. A lot of crazy stories about him too. Look at that. Select signature selections. Gold Flash Prism.
Ooh, I might have to do like a whole segment on just like select cards, because
Yeah.
that's a rabbit hole in its own to learn about.
Yeah. It's cool. He just signed it Sheik. Jesus. Terrible. But 81 years old. That famous Raza covers, the Iron Sheik Raza cover is my second favorite cover in that run. Of course, I love the Macho Man. What were the other good ones in that run?
Didn't Hitman? What, Bret Hart? Didn't he have a cover as well?
1050. That's it. What?
Oh wow.
Holy cow.
Oh, that was back in March though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's still a giant dip.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
Because I think it was Boom that came out with the comic.
Go to comics. Hold on here. Yeah, it was Boom. Funny story on those. I walk into Jesse James Comics one day, and there's like a rack of hundreds of CGC graded books, and it was every single one of these covers. There must have been 30 of them of each one, and it was before I realized there were anything. I think he had them for like $50 a pop. He had bought out Boom's, you know, collection of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I did end up buying one of the Macho Mans. I have a Macho Man. But that's a really good one. The Ultimate Warrior, $60 for the Ultimate Warrior one. The Iron Sheik is the second best one though, man. I can't believe it only went for $10. There's the Macho Man, 76 Raw. That's the best one by far for me. Yeah. The Sting one's really cool. The WonderCon one.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. That's cool. Razor Ramon. It's okay. What if the Macho Man? That's kind of interesting. I've never seen this. All right, these are connecting variants. There was a dude that there's the WonderCon 179. That's a pretty good one. Ted DiBiase. Let us know what your guys' favorites are from this variant set. There's the one, another $15 for that. Congratulations, whoever got that. There we go. All the way down to the March 15th. The last one sold for $10.50. March 15th.
It looks like that Macho Man though always remains consistent.
Yeah. I wonder how many are actually. Let's see here. Let's go IronSheik, and then let's get rid of $74 back in May. It's a 1 in 15. Somebody got really lucky, man. Nice score right there.
Yeah.
$15.
Oh, you want to see how many are listed now? Yeah.
600. Fuck out of here. There's not very many of them out there, are there? I think Steve Horn has like a fucking stack of them. He's got like a monster stack of wrestling variants and IronSheik stuff. Dead at 81. It says, today we gather with heavy hearts to bid a farewell to a true legend, a force of nature, an iconic figure who left an incredible mark on the world of professional wrestling. It is with great sadness that we share the news of the passing of the IronSheik, but we also take solace in knowing that he departed this world peacefully, leaving behind a legacy that will endure for generations to come. That's from his social media page. He had some great social media takes, man. He was...
Well, I mean... I don't want to say that's a long life for a person, like 81 years, but like for a professional athlete, like that's doing wrestling, 81 is actually a really respectable age to pass away peacefully at. Because like what Rowdy Piper, he died in like his 60s or whatever.
Yeah. What's his name? Jake the Snake, Razor Ramon. Those guys are. Is Jake the Snake still alive? I think, right? Razor Ramon's dead. He died early. All right, let's listen to this real quick.
And we lost a pro wrestling legend today, the IronSheik. And I just want to say, well, a few things. Most importantly, I want to send my love and my support, my strength, my light, my mana, and my condolences to the IronSheik's family, who I consider Ohana. They are a family of ours too as well. As I think a few of you may know, I grew up calling the IronSheik Uncle Sheiky, and when my dad and the IronSheik used to wrestle together, not only in the WWE, but also before that when we were living in the Carolinas, in North Carolina, and my dad and the IronSheik were wrestling together there for the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA. Uncle Sheiky would come over to the house and his wife would babysit me, and I was about 8 years old at that time, and I was a pain in the ass even then. So God bless that woman, his wife Carol. Thank you, Carol, for putting up with all my shit as a kid. I hope you guys are staying strong, and again, I'm so sorry to hear the news. And I will say this, as someone who has professional wrestling in his blood, and had it not been for the world of professional wrestling, I would not have the life that I have today, because it was everything. And my grandfather was in pro wrestling, my dad, my cousins, my grandmother, everybody, you name it. So as a man who loves professional wrestling, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the IronSheik and all of his accomplishments. And of course, there's so many IronSheik stories that are just classic and legendary as the man himself. I'll share this really quickly with you guys. So when I first started as a rookie in the WWE, it was a WWF at that time. In the world of pro, there is no world like pro wrestling. And when you're a rookie, you better tie your boots up pretty fucking tight, because that locker room is a tough one. And if you could survive it, then you got a good shot at making it. So when I first came into the WWE, the Iron Sheik had pulled me aside because, again, he was family. And he said, Baba, let me tell you something. He said, he had this great accent. He said, you come into the locker room, you sit down, you shut your mouth, you don't say anything, and you just watch and you learn. And then, he said, and then you understand who the good people and who the jabronis. And then, by the way, as simplistic as that sounded, it was true. I sat there every night in the locker room, I'd shut my mouth and I'd just watch and I'd learn. And of course, a couple of years later, when I became The Rock, I borrowed the term jabroni, and The Rock says, you jabroni, shut your mouth and know your role. Oh, I use that word, that jabroni. And by the way, jabroni became a fixture in lexicon. I believe it's in the Webster's dictionary now, and they give me credit for it. No. The truth is, all the credit goes to the Iron Sheik, because that was his word, he used it. I just happened to come along and, start saying it in my promos. You jabronis! But Iron Sheik, thank you. Thank you for the memories. And perhaps more importantly, thank you for paving the way for guys like me who love pro wrestling. So thank you, Iron Sheik, for the memories. You are a legend. You will be missed, but never forgotten.
Wow.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. One of these days, I want to get Jesse James in here and to talk about some wrestling stories. Jesse's got some classic wrestling stories because Jesse interviewed a bunch of these guys. I guess Jesse used to work at ESPN back in his early days, or had some time working around ESPN and interviewed a lot of these wrestling guys. And Jesse's always using wrestling lingo, saying jamokes and jabronis. And so one of these days we'll get Jesse in here. Maybe get Jesse, Dino, and a couple other WWE Mercenant, a couple other WWE goofballs in here.
Knife Wonder also joined
Knife,
that.
Mel.
Mel.
So I had one of my best friends of all time. Rest in peace, BJ Cardelli. He was one of the funniest people I ever met. He came from this super Italian family, and he was the biggest wrestling fan in the world. And this kid was a monster. You ever seen the cartoon of the duck that it's a baby duck, but he's super tough? What was that? What was that cartoon? It's anyways, that's what he reminded me of. And he would get in fights in high school, and this guy was monster. He was 6'4", 250, just a monster. Didn't know his own strength. But when he would get in fights in high school, he would redo wrestling moves. But he would, while he was fighting, he would be announcing his moves.
That's awesome,
dude. It was the greatest thing in the world. I wish cell phones were around at that time, because we were a bunch of hooligans.
He would have been viral.
Yeah, he would have went out because he would announce all his moves and he would pull them off, dude. So
that's the crazier part, that he announced what he's gonna do and he would still pull it off. And then I'm assuming he would win most of his fights.
So he was a huge Mancow and Howard Stern guy, right? Huge. He would call into Howard Stern all the time. And when he would call into Howard Stern and Mancow, he would act like he was a wrestler. He could do Razor Ramon, Macho Man. He did Macho Man so good that Mancow had him call who's the head guy of the WWE? Vince McMahon on the phone, acting like Macho Man. And Vince, for the first 5 minutes, thought he was talking to Macho Man, and then he realized it and hung up on him. So this, I mean, the biggest, and it was so funny. I could just see him today, Cardelli throwing, he would announce it like he was an announcer, and he would do them in fights, in real fights. Big fights, and you could just hear him throwing people. He threw this guy in a trash can once and announced it while he was doing it in the middle. It was amazing, dude. It was so funny. But anyways, yeah. Speaking of Howard Stern, the clips of Iron Sheik from Howard Stern are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very, very cool stuff. Did you guys see any of the books that came out this week?
I know that there were some good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about a few. But yeah.
Well, there was a couple. There wasn't anything crazy. But that being said, we're getting into long show territory here.
Every
right.
time I get on, I swear to God,
No,
I didn't even say much
you
this entire
fuckers.
episode.
You fuckers. By the way,
it's all your fault, James.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, there is a poll. I want to know, you guys, if we started doing like shorter shows, but there was like a sale after the show, would you guys stay around for the sale? And by sale, I mean comics, action figures, cards, trading card games, collectibles of all kind. Obviously, very heavily comic based, but I mean, I'm saying like if I had the run of a comic store, or if I had a bunch of people that would join us on a sale, or would you stick around afterwards for a 2 hour sale if we cut the show a little short? Let us know in that poll.
I'll tell you one thing, Brian. If we were doing a sale on the show after the show, or if we were doing a sale after the show, I'd be more happy to give comics away on your show than I would be on Whatnot. So
yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I would be in there deep on
That's
some
exactly
giveaways and some goodies for the peeps. So.
Yeah. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. So let me know in that poll, you guys, and anybody that's catching this on the rewind, let me know in the comments. If we did a sale after every live show on Wednesday night, Saturday nights, would you guys take part? Let me know. All right. This is Star Wars Return of the Jedi, The Empire, #1. And it's got a 1 in 100 Ryan Brown without the E. The good Ryan Brown.
Yeah.
Cover that is just so simple but so badass. There's something
if they
about
would get rid of that damn Marvel logo in the top left corner. Though.
I know. But just a bunch of stormtroopers. Just
it's amazing.
Yeah, badass. So 1 in 100. It's badass. It's good. It's just really, really great. So this is my book of the week. There's a couple of really, really good books, but to me, that is the book.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 in 25, Linnell Francis Yu, is good too. Stormtroopers just are so menacing and so badass, dude. I don't know what it is. They're bad. They're menacing, evil. That was a good one. What else did we get? We got hold on here. Let me close this up. Other than that, I mean, there wasn't anything that I was too crazy about. There was that Art Germ. Was there any good Maleficent covers?
I'm sure there was. They went all out on some of the secondary covers on that. But I mean, It's Dynamite. There's going to be a million of them, but like Jay Lee always does good covers for them. I mean, they've been doing really good lately.
Have you guys done any variants for Dynamite lately?
We did Maleficent issue 1, actually.
Okay.
In fact, I have it sitting right here.
I see it. As a matter of fact, let me go pick it up right here. Which one is it?
Yeah, we did this one's actually an interesting cover too. So we ended up doing this one.
Okay.
We had David Benzal do it, and we got told no at first when he submitted the grayscale on it. We got told no because if you look at all the other issue 1s, they wanted it. They said it looked too much like live action and real. They wanted it more cartoony. So they were like, so he needs to like figure something out with coloring, or this just isn't going to go. So I mean, he basically he made her face green, but that's like all he changed on it from the draft, and it still wasn't up to their approval of being cartoony enough. But they liked the artwork so much, they were like, well, I mean, we're going to approve it anyways.
51
so ours is
variants.
The more realistic one out of all of them. Like if you look through the rest of them, they're all super cartoony.
Yeah.
They wanted the more heavy Disney approached cartoony vibe to it. And we ended up getting away with something that was a little more realistic because they liked the artwork so much. They were just like, yeah, we'll let it through. I'll have a funny story when World Tree issue 4 comes out. It's a similar instance where we dropped a cover on a publisher, and they immediately were like, not exactly what we were looking for, but it's so amazing, we're just not going to say no.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I guess we've gotten really lucky with artists like unknowns, or unknowns in the comic industry, anyways, lately. And man, it's been really cool.
There's a very good cover right here by Mark Brooks.
Yes, the Mark Brooks.
Corner box.
Yes.
Yeah,
the corner
really
box
good.
variants have been really, really cool by Mark Brooks. I think Mark Brooks is one of those artists that like he goes through. He's not so much hit or miss, but he goes through like slumps and peaks where like when he's at the top of his game, man, nobody can touch him. And when he's not, he's okay. He's still a good artist, but like
it's still usually a good cover.
Yeah, he's still very good. When he's not at the top of his game, he's still very good. But when he's at the top of his game, holy cow. And I really like these ones.
And he's a pleasure to meet as well. If you
dude, he's such a nice guy. Such a nice guy.
That was a great variant sets that he's doing for that. So I like those. I like those a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the market report, and we'll call it a show, ladies and gentlemen. We got a big market report to go through. Of course, we have some interesting stuff that was going on with all the Spider-Verse stuff. Let me turn this off here. All right, all the Spider-Verse stuff. Here's some interesting sales on some of the Spider-Verse stuff. We've got the Spider-Man 2099 lot sets here. If you're going to pick up any Spider-Man 2099 stuff for like first appearances, I still go with issue number 1. I know everybody wants to go after that preview book, but yeah,
365.
Yeah, the hologram cover. I would only pick up newsstands on that also, but newsstands on the foil for this, a 9/8, 621 on 55 bids. That's not bad. We have 2 sales for the super rare white toy variant, which is so hard to get in high grade. The one in the middle is a signature series signed by Rick Leonardi, and it is great. Has a great little signature on the bottom. And it is a tough 9.6, man. That's tough to get this book in a 9.6 or better. $456. I still think it's a great buy.
I remember seeing a water damage cover for like $200 at a con one year, and I was like, I'm not even thinking about this. I was like, that's completely crazy. Like, I'd rather buy like a sealed figure with the comic still in it for that price.
Yeah.
Well, there's a while when you can still get those for kind of cheap too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't care as much about the it's a lot of those do that though. A lot of the special comic inserts with statues or with action figures, they do that for a bit. Where like the comic is worth way more than you can go buy the toy, and people just don't put the two together.
Even the toy sells well loose.
Mm-hmm.
Any of those, I mean, even the Spider-Man 29 just loose toys sell well. So and then a 9.4 just regular sold for $362. Next, there's that 9.8 of that hip hop cover, Miles hip hop cover for $415. Crazy. I saw Raw sell for $300, like I said. But I mean, if you ever wanted a 9.8, I mean, you're gonna buy much cheaper than they were going for a year ago. And then I know it's not the first appearance of the spot, but I love this cover of Spectacular Spider-Man 99. This is a 9.8, and it's the first cover of the spot, and that sold for $305. I like that. I mean, it still doesn't seem too crazy, and it's probably going to drop to way, way low in about a year, but we'll see. We'll see.
But after a year, the second film would have already came out by that point in time too.
Yeah.
So I might hold for a bit then, because he's still going to be part of it.
Yep.
They didn't capture. Sorry, no spoilers. My bad.
Amazing Spider-Man number 10, the Del Auto, 455. Yeah.
Okay, crazy thing about this, I've got one listed right now for 400 that has no bids.
Someone go snipe him.
self-promoting a little bit. I just dropped it down by 60. I think I had it at 465, and I saw this, so I'm like, I'll drop it for, because Bryan and
it'll sell.
you know what I'm trying to buy right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll tell you this: it came down in price again. It's only $8.10 now.
Oh wow.
So now it's like now or never for me to grab that book. So I'm like, okay, what? I don't care. Fire sale shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
I love that.
You see $400 listing, boys. It's it's me.
It was.
It's a good book.
They were selling for like $200 a few months ago.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
For the Delato, I'm not talking about the Rick. Like that's crazy. That's a great book. Spider-Punk was the runaway hit of character. So
amazing character in the movie.
First Spider-Gwen 9/8 of Edge of Spider-Verse 2 sold for $1,126.42 bids. It's super healthy.
Is that the error variant though? It's hard to tell with a picture.
I don't think so. I looked, but I don't think so.
That picture almost makes it look like it could be, but I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not for that price. The error 9/8 would have gone for double that. Yeah, enough people know what it is out there now. It's not like it was 3 years ago. People didn't know what it was. People know.
That's
what it
true.
Is now.
The Spider-Gwen 24 first Gwenum, whatever. Yeah, it's a better cover than the one everybody else says it's the first Gwenum, but this is a tough J. Scott Campbell variant. It's a beautiful cover. This is a 9/8 signature series. It sold for $560 on 46 bids, and then another runaway hit character out of the show or the movie was Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider. And there's the first appearance of him for 9/8 for $545. There you go. Spider-Verse number 6, a 9/8 for $605. What was that book selling for at its peak? Something ridiculous.
What?
Like $1,200 or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like as soon as the first teaser dropped, right?
Yeah.
Where we saw all the different
Spider radar completely. I didn't even know that book existed. That's how far that missed my radar.
Well, I mean, it's a later, I guess, issue, or it's a more modern, like within the last 3 years ago or something like that this book came out. But then as soon as everyone heard there's thousands of spider people, or there's going to be over 300 different Spider-Verse characters showing up.
I get that.
Yeah. It's because there's multiple first appearances on this one, right? But I wouldn't give it the key emoji or fire emoji on that.
No. No,
the Spider-Woman Milo Manera variant for Raw, $455. Wow.
I like this cover, but I would not pay that much for it.
I think that cover is so horrible. It was worse before they put the trade dress over her weird shaped ass. It was such a terrible cover when they first announced it that they had to put the trade dress over her ass because it looks so misshapen and weird. It's like, I don't understand why people like that cover. You're on hiatus.
I'm not disavowed yet.
Disavow. Speaking of disavow, where's all the Tuesday for Tosin people, or Tosin Tuesdays, or the whatever it is? Here's a 9/8 $485. What were 9/8 selling for when everybody was going crazy for them?
Was that like $1,000?
I feel like it was more than that. But
I don't think it went any higher than
it was. I think we sold ours for 1,100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to say it went any higher than 15.
No, it didn't hit. I think it hit like 1,250 at peak, or 1,300 at peak. But it was
but Raws were selling for this much.
Yeah.
At that time.
Raws were selling for 4 to 6.
Yeah.
In fact, our 9/8 I think we bought for 500 raw, and then it graded out a 9/8. But yeah, they were going nuts. They were going really nuts.
And her hands are insanely big. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm just one of those. I'm a Manara fan. I think that's what it really falls into. And then it's one of those. I wouldn't say good covers, but one of those memorable covers for Monero.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely
for sure.
memorable.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we've got the Amazing Spider-Man, the movie variant with the Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone book. Here's the 9.8 for over 1,000. This was on the Stein list this week.
I
So
can see that one. I
Dang.
can see that one for sure.
Shout out to Redhood for putting this on the pro spec list a long time ago, because those books were going for dirt cheap back then.
Yep. Yeah, they were.
if there was anybody around during that time period when the pro spec list was coming out, let us know in the chat. Give us a W in the chat if you were around when the pro spec list was coming out.
Brian, I've told you that's why I'm in comics, is those original lists, man. Me buying and selling comics and starting that whole flip John, like for me, that was it, man. The origins of the OGs that come into this channel. I mean, that's how I got
where
started.
I learned how to edit.
Hive Comics is due to that.
Yeah.
That's where I learned how to edit.
Yeah, and that's where I learned how to operate StreamYard from Bryan, and also how to do some of the editing tricks, and where he's like, "Hey, I have it set up for a formula with you. You just have to piece it together yourself, and then cut out dead air time periods and stuff like that."
Yeah, we were even cutting out dead air at the end. I knew everybody's by the shape of their voice wave, because everybody's ums look the same, and you realize who it is, and you're so. Yeah, man. That was good times, dude.
Or when to end someone's rant, and then where it's okay, they're ranting on we need to cut down this, these videos to less than 30 minutes. Really, we were always aiming for less than 20 minutes. Yeah. And I think I successfully did it a handful of times.
Bro, that was pure heat coming from the Sspec. The people who were on the show were great comic, speculators at the time. The channel was just rocking, and it was just a great time for comic content on YouTube.
You could watch that show, walk into your LCS the next day, and walk out making $400.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was nuts. I remember that. It was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, by the time we got our sponsorships and stuff like that, I thought that was the insane time period. Yeah. And then that was about the time period also when I was starting to taking that leadership role for that. And I was just oh, I thought it was just a new guy, but okay, I guess I'm in charge of this now.
Yeah. So shout out to Key Collector for that. That was really cool for Nick for doing that. All right, here we go. Daredevil number 16, one of my all-time favorite comics. This is the first time Romita ever drew Spider-Man, and I'm not talking about Junior. Okay. This
Such
is
a cool cover.
Yeah,
such a cool cover.
Historic comic books right here, and it's not even a Spider-Man title. It's Daredevil number 16. This is a CGC 7.0. This is the type of book that I think that are going to start selling more, right? These historic books, a lot of people don't know about how important these books are. This book should be, people should be on the lookout for a book like this. You know what I mean? Same with, this is crazy. Amazing Spider-Man 194, a 9.8 with the Felicia, CGC thing, sold for $2,755.
I sold my 9.6 not long enough ago that it's still fresh in my memory, and I didn't want to sell it, but I was getting ready to do improvements on the old house to sell and move to here, so it was worth every penny.
What's the high on that? Man. Do we know the high on that for 9.8s? Are you able to look that up?
That's probably the highest for 9.8.
Yeah, 27.55. She Geek says, just picked up a 194 floppy. Congrats. That's a great book to have. Everybody should own one of those.
I need to pick up another. Yeah.
I don't think I have any right now.
That's a good book to keep an eye out on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, very, very cool. All right. So yeah, 27.55 on that E. Let us know what the high is.
27.55. Okay.
Next, we've got an Amazing Spider-Man 298. Here's another book that I'm talking about, like $500. You can pick one of these up for even less. I think I saw one sold for like $450. First time McFarlane ever drew Spider-Man right here. Like, that's amazing. That's an amazing book. Great key issue. You can pick a 9/8 white pages up for $510. Like, I'm on that all day. Here's another crazy. I feel like this should have been more, but maybe not. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #8, a Canadian newsstand 9/8, sold for $19.25 on 23 bids.
Oh, so that $27.55 price is actually down.
Oh, it's
By
down?
how much?
So the high for this year was 3,700,
No way.
and the low is 2,550.
There's very few comics that
the-
are up on price like keys like that. You know what I mean?
For this year, for 2023.
Yeah.
The highest has ever been was 5,760, but that was during 2021.
Yeah.
And 2022, the high was $5,700.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's like down
Big
quite
drop.
a bit.
Big drop. Marvel Comics #1000. Another cool Spider-Man / Disney comic here. This is the Humberto Ramos OG, right? 9/8 signature series signed by Ramos. 1,025 on 2 bids. Obviously, it was just probably like a quick buy it now type thing or whatever, but not a crazy auction. I mean, but it gets us into the Segu. I'm loving Disney books, you guys. I'm loving Disney books.
Do you know who you need to talk to then? Is Nate's wife, Anna. She's a huge Disney collector. First time I ever met her, we're all shopping at 50% off sale. She was sitting there grabbing every single Disney book that she didn't have, and then like you should have seen her pile. It was like literally like this tall. And then,
I mean, 3 major key Carl Barks books sold. I mean, there's a lot of great Disney books that sold this week, but you've got the Walt Disney Comics and Stories #7, Volume 3, #7. I don't know if that's Carl Barks' first Disney comic. It might be, but then you've got 4-color #386, which is the classic Uncle Scrooge cover in his vault, and then the all-time great first time Carl Barks ever did Donald Duck with Dell 4-color. I think that's the first Carl Barks, but I could be wrong. I don't know why it says first Carl Barks on that. The Dell 4-color is definitely the first Carl Barks on Donald Duck, but let us know, you guys, if what's going on with that Volume 3, #7. Maybe that's the first time Carl. Well, it can't be because the 4-color came out in 42, so I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But there you go. 3 Carl Barks books sold this week. Continuing on the Walt Disney stuff, there's a lot of those Walt Disney's comics and stories, those early ones that sold in the early 40s. There's a really cool bright white cover with Donald and Pluto for $510 raw. You've got Red Hood was holding up the vinyl earlier. Here you go, the Deadpool #45, 1 in 50. Run the Jewels variant went for $329 raw on 68 bids.
Wow. That's still one of those Deadpool covers that I've always wanted, and I still don't have. I mean, I do have a foreign copy. Thank you, Josh. But I still want the 1 in 50. Like,
I might be buying one here pretty soon. I think prices are gotten friendly on that one.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot of bids, though. Obviously, people are still wanting it, but I think that's a book that's gotten friendly.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very approachable price at $330.
If you're not a music person, you might not understand the appeal, but like Run the Jewels they're a fucking freight train right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. I mean, these guys are
Killer Mike and LP.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about an Albedo 2? 7.5 sold for $4,700 on 50 bids. First Usagi Yojimbo, one of the ultimate grails in comics. Just a classic story about those books. The majority of them got burnt in a fire, if I remember correctly.
It's like half the production run.
Half the run.
Yeah.
So, and, you're talking like probably like what less than TMNT #1 copies out there.
Yep.
I will
All-time
say this
classic.
though, like when people talk about what's going on in comics right now, or even last year, this is a book that was 5 years ago was buyable for way under this. The industry overall, in a healthy standpoint, is healthier than it was 5 or 6 years ago from collectibles. It's just seeing a really weird dip right now. Because this is a book that could have been had 5 or 6 years ago. It could have been had for in a 7.5 raw copy could have been had for I wouldn't say cheap, but relatively cheap compared to 4,700. This is definitely a dip compared to last year. I mean, Albedo was hitting crazy numbers last year.
Well, do you think it was because of the hype for the space Usagi?
I think that helped it. But I mean, listen, Stan Sakai is a fucking legend.
Yeah.
And I mean, these early books are always going to be sought after. I would say as a collector, any #1, 3, 4, 5, there's some iconic covers in there that he did that are just not they're worth a lot, but they're not worth what this is, because this is a first appearance, right?
Right.
But I would be snagging those up anytime you see him, because Stan's he's not an old man, but like, you know how it goes with those creators. Like, he's not going to be around forever.
Yeah.
And
But
his
he's
early
Asian.
work is
Of course, he's going to be around forever.
Well, yeah, he might live to 127, but
One of the nicest guys in comics too, by the way.
oh, dude, such a nice guy.
Yeah.
But it's the first Usagi Yojimbo, but it's not the first Stan Sakai work, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like be looking for early Stan Sakai work. Be grabbing any of the Albedos. If you ever see an Albedo in a back issue bin, or you ever see it for cheap at a convention, like relatively cheap, grab it, because in 5, 10, 15 years, they're all going to be worth crazy money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all low print. I mean, everything he did was low print.
Yeah.
Some Spawn books. You got the 2 Kickstarter comics. These are the books that came with the Kickstarter figures, which were selling for ridiculous money, that have really dropped in value, or secondary value. But here are 9/8 signed copies, signed by McFarlane, of the Kickstarter comics, which are really like the black and white one, and it went for less, which is crazy to me. I would much rather have a black and white sketch cover by McFarlane than a color cover, but as you can see there, the 9/8 Signature Series color went for $475, and then the black and white $375. I'm not mad at that. And then a 9/8 black and white Spawn #1 signed by McFarlane sold for $2,672 on 59 bids.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's up or down for that price. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I just know it's a super hard book to find in general anyways.
Yeah. I agree with the Righteous Flipper. Yep. That trend is where the pendulum is swinging back to right now. All right. Next, we've got a really cool J. Scott Campbell connecting cover set, the Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash. This is all 6 issues, but it has the connecting cover variant set, sold for $322.40 raw, which shows you how sought after that connecting cover set is. So cool. You remember the Image Comics 25th anniversary blind boxes? Those were such a big deal. And here we are years later, $355 for that.
I broke 4 of those.
Really?
What were you chasing after?
I don't even remember what the book was to chase after.
I mean, there's God Country ones.
I have a long box of the fucking books from those damn things. I swear to God.
That's
but
awesome.
I made my money back. I mean, there were some good books in there that I made my money back throughout the years. But I mean, it took a long fucking time for me to get my money back.
Yeah.
But I kept breaking. I was like a crack addict at the comic shop, because my comic shop bought 10 of those things. I was like, I bought one, broke one. I was like, okay, cool. I just made my money back. I'll break another.
Yeah.
It was nuts, man.
Well,
Nuts
it gets,
on those things.
yeah, I mean, like what's this saying when you're breaking cards? Like, once you hit something big in the first box, you're playing with house money now at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Playing with house money. Exactly.
Yeah. And then this is kind of silly to me. This is such a horrible mistake, in my opinion. Pop Kill #1. It's the nude cover variant, not the more sought after, in my opinion, wet T-shirt original. But a big, huge, freaking shitty Adam Hughes sketch of a dude's face on the cover. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't want to see a dude's face over the top of that cover. Get the hell out of here, man. By the way, speaking of 25th anniversary Image books, we got the man, the myth, the legend in the chat that's saying the Negan and sketch covers were the chases.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Negan.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
What was the I shouldn't say MSRP. What was the base asking price on those when they first came out?
I think I got a good deal on them, and I was paying like 160 or 175.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think I remember when they first released somewhere around the 200 250 price range is what, and then when people found out about the Negan stuff, I think that's when it like jumped up in price like crazy.
Yeah.
Because they had the 1 in 500 like signed.
There was some cool Invincible stuff in there.
Yeah,
too.
there's really cool stuff. I think the greatest that came out of that was there was
man,
they
being
might have been
Asian
about-
and remember numbers.
Yeah, they might have been about 200. They might have been about 200. But I think the there was what J. Scott Campbell Michonne variant that was in there. That it wasn't highly sought after, but goddamn, it was cool. It was really cool. It looked so good. So there was like the black and white, the Virgin, and the trade dress. That was one that I've got quite a few of that one. That I'm like, that's a cool book. In fact, I even have a skate deck they released a skate deck that I've got that's got the same cover on it. It was such a good cover. There's some cool stuff in there though.
I like the God Country 1 cover.
Yeah.
Like all versions, like the trade, the Virgin, and I think there was a black and white sketch.
Yeah.
Even I like that cover over the 1A cover.
See, and I made most of my money back off the God Country when God Country got announced. I pulled all my stuff from that anniversary box and sold them, and I think that's when I finally broke even.
Okay, yeah, the J. Scott Campbell, Kirkham saying that the J. Scott Campbell Michonne, that was from the
15th anniversary blind bags. Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're right. You are right.
I remember cracking some of those open. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Skybound was an Image during that time period where like they couldn't do anything wrong. I remember going into comic shops and people would have boxes and they would say just put every Image number 1 in the box. I'll buy every Image number 1. And there was probably 100 people doing that in every comic store. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dude, it was such an amazing time period for comics back then.
Well, now, James, now you know who owns the OA for that Campbell art.
Oh,
wait, do I?
Yeah, you do.
Big Clutch.
Oh, of course it's Sean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Clutch, hit me up about San Diego, dude.
Yes, we all need to figure out what's going on with San Diego.
Yeah, we need to figure that shit out. I found a couple of good spots. We need to link up.
I want fucking in. I want in on a place to stay.
I found some good spots, and I've got parking. So I've got parking under the convention center, like at the convention center.
All right.
So yeah, I'll get a group chat going. Sean, hit up Bryan, and let me get a group chat going with all of us, and let's figure out all that stuff.
All right. Next, we've got. I'm telling you guys, big market report tonight. How about this? Guardians of the Galaxy number 1. Not even that first appearance of the team issue, just the number 1 issue. 9.8, 360. If you guys have this in 9.8 and it doesn't mean anything to you, sell it now. Because this book is going to go back down to sub 200, I imagine, after a couple months.
Is there anything that important that happens in that book at all? Is there or is there just a number 1 and
it's just the number 1?
And it's just a cover.
Great cover. Yeah. Great cover, just a number 1, early team. If you have one of these in a 9.8, sell. You'll be able to buy 2 of them in 2 more months for the price you sell them for. How about this one? Talk about there's some major drops, you guys. Obviously, majority of stuff, 99% of stuff is dropping, but it's not a bad thing. And this is why I say that, because the prices are way higher than they were, a year before that. We're still on an up, all right, than we were. It's not as high as it was, but it's probably corrected. Okay, it's corrected.
It's readjusted, and then where it's like
This is where it
What
should
we
be.
expect. This is what the market should have been without like stimulus checks and all that shit.
Yeah.
But
But this is
like where it's
I
showing a
agree.
healthy
This is
trend.
the natural trajectory
Yeah.
of comics had pandemic and paychecks not happen.
Marvel
Yeah.
Atom Legend of Blue Marvel #1 was selling for 700 plus raw. Now you can get the whole set for 340. Yay. That's a great buy.
Do you think it's only like one of those lull periods though too that people are tired of waiting
as soon as
for?
that character hits, and I don't care what anybody says, that
gonna
character
dip.
will show up on the silver screen or the TV screen at some point soon. So, and by soon, I think that means like within the next 2 years, I would say. Characters just too beloved. I don't see them at least throwing a dog a bone and throwing like a fan moment in a movie just to have him show up, and then the response will be great and everybody will be like, we want a Blue Marvel movie. We should have a Blue Marvel movie. Like, it's such a great character. The writing of the Ultimate stuff is amazing, so we'll see.
I would guess like if you're estimating 2 years, probably like aren't they doing a sequel to the Eternals, the first Eternals? So, and I would assume like some sort of teases in the Marvel's film that they're doing, maybe somewhere else.
Yeah, there's got to be a tease. I'm hoping, praying that there's a tease in there. There needs to be. There should be. We all know that. Talk about a freaking mistake, you guys. We all missed out on this one. There's a couple ones that we all missed out on, you guys. How about 53 Dave Stevens covers with 5 of them signed? They're all Rocketeer covers. It's not the greatest Dave Stevens cover, but it is a Rocketeer cover. $290. 5 of them were signed. That's Dave Stevens. Rest in peace, Dave Stevens. You're not going to get his autograph anytime soon,
Like
Dave Stevens.
$7 a piece.
Yeah. Like, congratulations to whoever won that.
Yeah.
Great buy.
Yeah. Like you just have to hit like 198 on that, probably and then
game over.
That pays for the whole lot, and then everything else.
German GBP. What's GBP to US dollar?
Great Britain. And these are all British comics right here, and these are the good ones, you guys. We got Captain Britain #1, a 9.6 CGC 9.6, sold for $636, which is a great buy. Remember what a 9.8 was like double of that recently. So, and then a 9.6 #8, which is the first appearance of Betsy Braddock, sold for $1,175 on 40 bids, and then Deadline 1 through 5. First appearance, including the first appearance of Tank Girl, which is that great cover, the Jamie Hewlett cover, and all 4 of those books are great. I own all 5 of those covers, the issues right there, and somebody got really lucky and got all 5 of them for $200, basically, $250. Yeah.
Did that mask for the Great Britain #1? Didn't that sell for like $500 by itself? Just the mask.
I think so. But remember, the masks always fall out. They're never stuck inside.
Right.
They just fall out. They don't stick. So yeah, a bunch of cool UK books right there. All right. How about some big boys? X-Men #1, a 3.0, sold for $7,300 on 69 bids. A 1.0 Amazing Fantasy 15 sold for $12,700 on 46 bids. And this is one you don't see very often. All-Star Comics #5, a 4.5, sold for just basically $2,100. First appearance of Hawkgirl on that one. Great cover. So,
and that's a damn good grade for that book.
Yeah.
People don't understand that is a good grade for that book.
And I love that old school Golden Age JSA team. So,
yeah.
Next, here's another great type of book we should be searching for, especially at these prices. I think these are great prices. A CGC 9.8 of Daredevil 183, the classic Frank Miller, cover or series, 82 Marvel time period, the Punisher iconic cover. A 9.8 sold for $376 on 38 bids. I mean, that's the type of books that we should be looking after instead of, quested #1, 1 and 250.
Those are books that can still be found in back issue bins too.
Yeah.
The 183, it's not a first appearance. You can still find those in back issue bins.
Vengeance #1, the Diodato 1 in 15, a 9.8 for $1,000 basically, $1,055. That book's dropped.
I think 9.6s were selling for that much because
Oh
Yeah, they were
weren't
for that.
9.8s like $3,000 or something like that for.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's probably more than that. I bet you it was.
Well, I think like what newsstands were like $5,000, $7,000, or something
Yeah,
like that,
newsstands went nuts on that for a bit.
or was it, or did it, or did the newsstand hit like $10,000? Or am I crazy thinking that?
Yeah. That's a good one, Chad. I like that. I like that. The drop on First Silk and First Null is crazy too, Gary. I agree. The drop on everything is crazy. Thanks, She-Geek. Have a good night. All right, next. Oh, wait, hold on. The Fantastic Four. This is a great book. Even at $1,600, I feel like this is a great book. These are the type of... If I'm going to go get a Jim Lee auto, this is the type of Jim Lee auto I want. I want it signed with Joe Snow and a first Black Panther at 6.0 on the same book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
that's
definitely makes sense.
That's a cool book to get a Stan. If you're going to buy Stanley's signature, get a book like that. 1578 on that. Next, this gorgeous. Look at the color on that Jackie Robinson. It's a 6.0 Jackie Robinson Comics #2 from 1950. But the color, the yellow, the blue, the red, it just pops so much. And only $425. I feel like that's a steal. Here is a book that is going up in value, which is surprising. I mean, it's not past its high, but it's moved up a little bit recently. Sandman #8, first appearance of Death, a 9.8 for $662. I feel like that's a great book. Even at that buy, it's that's such a
should have
great
sold for
character.
666 at the very least.
Yeah, I agree. And then a Forgive Me Father, Jeff DeCall trade paperback, sold for $332 on 34 bids.
Longshort screaming right now.
Yeah,
because of that.
Yeah. Harrison Ford signed Star Wars Tales #11, the photo cover. This is the type of book you get Harrison Ford to sign. Right here is the perfect example. $13.50 on this for a 9.8.
How much does this book cost without his signature though? Because I know
$20.
Okay.
Probably.
I was
right?
just because what Harrison Ford's auto was like $1,000.
Yeah.
So
Which is
I mean,
ridiculous. But I would definitely. I would never buy. I would only buy CGC Signature Series books of actors and actresses on the secondary market. You're going to pay too much if you do it yourself, period. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
How the Mighty Have Fallen, you guys. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic #9, first full Revan. You got a 9.8 that sold for $641 and a 9.6 that sold for less than half price at $295.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Star Wars books they were the mighty, they were on the mountaintop, you guys. They were king of the hill for a period of time, and now there's only a few of them that get good money. The Ahsoka First Clone Wars 2009-8, not the variant. That's cool. I'd like to see that. I like this one a ton. Great buy on this one. Whoever bought this. Shadows of the Empire #1, first appearance of Dash Rendar, Plo Koon, not Plo Koon. What was the Prince Shizor? Right, this is the first Prince Shizor, also too, I believe. Am I wrong
And
about
the
that?
newsstand on top
And
of
it's
that.
a newsstand 9.8 for $317.
That seems like a really good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here we go, a 9.4 Back to the Future #1, the Gray Sports Almanac variant, a Super Ghost, sold for $599. That is a Super Ghost right there, you guys. One of the OG.
Or do you think
original.
it's just harder for us to get because it's a UK sub box?
I very rarely see that book sold.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's not like a book that you would stumble upon unless like someone had a ton of foreign books.
Yep. Speaking of foreign, we got some foreign here. We got an Italian Detective 359. This is 4.0, sold for $13.75, so that's pretty cool. You got an Amazing Fantasy 15, Lomo Ragno, which is Italian also. Highest grade in existence on this one says what, 7.5 on there, I believe. Is that what it is? 7.5. $1,250, and a X-Men 1 Jaffa. Jaffa is Australian, and that is a tough book right there. Sold for 1,238 Australian. So some cool foreign books right there.
Ooh, Raffy with the details. That Gray's Z-Box retailed for $15.
Wow. Great. That makes me even more angry. Foom 10, one of my grails that I want to find one of these days. Here's a CGC 80
Really?
sold for over $2,000. Yep.
I've had
Yeah,
the
man.
chance at so many of those, and I'm just like,
That's the first appearance of the giant size X-Men right there, my friend.
yeah, you know what? I hate the X-Men though, so I think that's maybe
Oh, that's the problem.
yeah, that's the
Boo
problem.
earns.
Yeah. Ghost Rider #1, the Neil Adams variant, raw, sold for 700. That's another super ghost. And this right here is super fucking cool. A Ghoulies 2 movie poster from Ghana on the back of an oil flour sack. They printed this on. Sold for $285. That is the type of shit that I'm talking about for a market report. That is super cool right there. So whoever bought that, congrats. That is one of the coolest things that I've seen on a market report in a long time. All right, let's continue on. We've got a Frank Kozik, rest in peace, Beastie Boys poster with Bruce Lee on it. Sold for $299.
Oh, that's
From
really
1995. Cool. Yeah, that's a really tough book. And I'm glad James is here for these pieces right here. We've got the Blink 182 Big Bunny vinyl figure, sold for $1,325. I've never even seen that before, but those
needs
vinyl
repaint.
It does need repaint. It's still sold for that much.
Yeah.
An original Misfits sticker sold for $405. That's pretty cool.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
How do you prove it's an original sticker though?
He had a bunch of other ones with it. He sold a bunch of other ones too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
sure
Chad,
that's the type
I
of thing
hate
you
the
can
X-Men.
prove. Yeah.
They're stupid. It's stupid. X-Men's stupid.
I was hoping Sean would be here for this one because this one's pretty cool. A vintage He-Man inflatable Battle Cat bounce thing.
Bounce on. So it's what you could grab it and bounce on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From 1984. It comes with the original box for $371. That is awesome, dude. Can you imagine having that blown up and like a hanging from a ceiling in a store or something, a local comic shop?
Oh yeah, that would really be cool.
Yeah. And then you have the Mattel Masters of the Universe Aqua Attack vehicle that I've never seen. It's from 1989, which is late in the He-Man stuff. Sold for $340 mint in box. And then I remember these as a kid, and I totally forgot about them until I saw this sale. This is the Black Star laser light figures, sealed on card of Cadre, I guess is the character's name, but I totally remember those as a kid from early 80s. Sold for $316 mint on card, so that's super nostalgic right there. Then we've got two huge Thundercats mint on card figures that sold. These are the Driller figures, and super rare. You can see they're all tore up but still on card. One sold for the Stinger one, sold for $2,425 on 61 bids. And the Driller sold for $11,172 on 31 bids. And then this is pretty cool. Here is a lot of all four Ninja Turtles. A lot of people picked up just 4 of them and put them away. I've ran into quite a few people that did this, and I actually had somebody reach out to me recently that has a set of 4 like this that I'm going to work on some consignment sales with. But here you guys go. All 4 of these with the fan club inserts for $2,200 on 51 bids. Mint on card turtles. OG.
Crazy.
Some cool G.I. Joe stuff to come, but we got a couple hitters right here. You've got the complete Starduster figure, the little case, the card, the mail away propaganda. Starduster is one of the rarest G.I. Joe figures. Always be on the lookout for the Starduster figures and accessories, as you can see there. That complete sold for $475. Nate showed us he picked up a mint on card Firefly a while back. Here's another one that sold. This one's pretty tore up, but it's still mint on card. Sold for $1,000, a little over $1,026 on 50 bids. And this is super cool to me. A vintage 1985 Transformers Nightlight. Sold for $355.
Still in box.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
These are cool. I loved Over the Top, the arm wrestling movie. Who doesn't? Still a classic. I didn't know that they had toys for them. They had the LJN wrestling figures for them. And here's 2 sales. You've got Bob Bull Hurley for $843 mint on card, and John Grizzly for $600 mint on card. So that's pretty cool. And this is super cool. 1985 Voltron die cast from Matchbox set. Looks like it's never been opened for $450. I will one of these days own that set and have it on a display behind me.
So I've never seen Over the Top. Is that a movie you would recommend to watch?
Stallone, bro. Stallone.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen Stallone where he takes the move
to
the hat and he turns
backwards?
it backwards?
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen parts of it, but I haven't seen from beginning to end.
Yeah. And shout out to Gary. Yeah, the fan club inserts were the first run. And was the first run the squeezy heads? I can't remember on that either. All right. And then next we've got, again, be on the lookout for those plush figures. Some of those plush, not figures, but plush dolls sell for a ridiculous amount. Here's some South Park ones again, $605 for the set, which there's a couple of them there, but still they sell for a grip. Check these out. How about some Centurions, man? Loose Centurions, but complete. You've got the Kenner with Max and helmet action figures for $515, and then Doom Drone Traumatizer sold for $848 from the Centurion stuff. So I definitely remember. Yeah, man, I definitely remember all the Centurion stuff. I love that shit as a kid.
Rhino's asking if that was all the pieces to make Voltron.
Yes.
Okay.
And the small ones, the Matchbox ones, not the big ones that you would put the action figures in. The Matchbox ones were cooler too. They were like heavy. So, all right, let's continue on here. Let's move on with some interesting stuff. Speaking of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, check this out. We had some sales, 2 sales of his Miami Hurricanes card, which if you guys remember, it is perforated like the Wembanyama. And you see here, you got a near mint 8 sold for $1,178 on 29 bids, and a near mint 10 sold for $8,300. Do you know how much a near mint 10 for these sold for during the pandemic?
Like 20,000, 50,000?
Yeah,
like that, right?
It was something ridiculous. Let's take a look.
Well, I mean, wait, what was it also like hit like recently that 1-of-1 Prism Black 2021 WWE card sold for what, 6 figures at a PSA 7?
$81,000 it sold for in February of 2021. $81,000. It sold for $8,000 the other day.
So when it sold for 81,000, was it through like an auction house or something like that, or was it?
Says back in February, the same mint card sold for $45,000 when it first hit the auction block in 2020. The card only sold for $14,000. So now the trading card makes it historic at Golden Auctions for an all-time of any card of the Rock at the time for $81,000. Golden Auctions.
Well, I mean,
all-time record.
Did you watch the Golden Netflix show or whatever?
No, but I hear it's good.
It is good, and then you can see them working behind the scenes. Like they have like monitors where they have the ongoing live auction at the time, and then because of their network is so big, they know like what their customers prefer. they'll sit there and call customers and be like, "Hey, we have this item for sale right now, blah blah blah. We know you're a big insert person's name here, collector. Do you want to put in a bid?" And then they'll actually manually type in bids for people,
Yeah.
which that seems kind of, yeah, we're talking about
kind of suspect.
I don't want to say sus, but like it could get shady, right?
Yeah.
If they're like overwriting the system and putting in a bid for someone else just because they can't get to.
I don't know. It's just having a proxy do it for you. It's the same as people that.
But it's the people
$50
running the
proxy.
auction though that's doing the proxy. That's where I find it kind of shady.
I don't see any problem with it.
Like
It's
if
so
it was like a
crazy,
third
man.
party, like somewhere else, like someone putting in a proxy bid for someone, I would be okay with that. But if it's the auction house themselves doing the proxy bids, I don't know.
It's the same as any other live auction that
Yeah.
happens on a stage
Yep.
where you put in a phone bid. I that's what I equate it to. It's the same as putting
I
in
agree.
a phone bid.
Yep,
Okay.
I agree. They're just knowing their customers.
Yeah.
But then they're also like, instead of the customer calling, they're calling the customers.
Yeah, that's just knowing
and
your
that's fine.
customers.
Okay.
In my
If you
opinion.
don't think the big auction companies don't go, hey, we've got a $20 million Monet painting going up for sale. We know you've bought Monet from the past of us. Do you want to bid on this? I mean, all these auction companies are doing the same thing.
Yep.
I don't see it as anything shady.
Next, check this out. This is one of my biggest misses of the years, you guys. Probably as bad as me missing out on my Holy Grail a year ago. I was lucky enough to make up for that, and I picked up my Holy Grail. But I missed out on my Holy Grail for $300 about a year ago, and I made up for it by buying it for $250 about 6 months later. But this is another one of my Holy Grails, and I missed out on it for $811. A 9.8 version of it. The super rare recalled League of Extraordinary Gentlemen number 5. One of the rarest comics that you will ever see. This is the famous inside. You can't tell unless you look inside. It has the Marvel douche advertisement in it that they were forced to get rid of. And it is one of the rarest comics you will ever see right here. Alan Moore comic, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, is one of my favorite all-time stories. One of my favorite all-time scenes in a comic is the Invincible Man scene, and you guys know what I'm talking about in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen if you've read the story. It's so good. And I'm so mad that I missed out on this for $811. Pretty fucking sad. But so did you guys, so I don't feel that bad. All right, next, some original art stuff. We got a lot of it. We've got a sketch cover here by Bruce Timm for Captain America, which is great. Look how beautiful this is. Great Bruce Timm sketch cover after Kirby. Sold for $2,600. Yeah.
Oh, no, okay. Winning bid. Never mind.
Yeah. So $2,600. Next, we've got this J. Scott Campbell San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that he did last year, but it's got the sketches on it. You got the Spider-Man and Mary Jane sketch on that side, which is just awesome, and it's signed, obviously. Just under $2,000 for that one. That's a killer sketch right there.
I wonder how much that package costs though to get sketches from.
Yeah. Next, we've got a amazing sketch by Michael Cho. There's a couple of them. He did some great Batman sketches. Look at this. That's awesome right there. Great Batman sketch by Michael Cho. Sold for $455 for that one. This one right here sold for $480, and this one is awesome. Look at that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Super stylized, beautiful art. Just good shit. Michael Cho. How about this one? Early prelim Harley Quinn DC Comic original art sketch prelim signed by Bruce Timm, 8x11 art. But he redrew his prelim art. And it still sold for $3,000.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yep. Next, this is a great buy in my opinion. This is the Cartoon Network Block Party comics, 1 through 58, only missing 57 and 59 for $300. These have probably some killer rare stuff in them. That
first Powerpuff Girls is in that
Yep.
set.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, look at it. There's probably a ton of major firsts in this. Isn't Dan Slott's first in this too? Am I mistaken about that? Or was that a Mickey Mouse? Or not a Mickey Mouse, a Mighty Mouse comic. Anyways, this is the type of stuff that I love, picking up for cheap if you can pick it up for cheap. I don't know if this is cheap, but we'll find out. We'll see in the future. Next, look at this, $464, you guys. They got a Nintendo Power #1, a Nintendo preview, the first appearance of the Mario that we know and love, Valiant Comics Nintendo preview, the very first Valiant book right here. And then you've got the Zelda books. They're not in high grade. They're a little messed up, but only for this. All 5 of these sold for $464. This Zelda book in high grade sells for like $1,200.
Is that a newsstand of the Zelda too?
It could be. It could be. They could all be newsstand, except for these. So, pretty cool. $464. Next, we already looked at that one. All right, this fucking idiot. Look at this picture that he used. What an idiot. And it's still sold for a decent amount that I didn't like. $730 for this. First appearance of Spider-Girl and May Parker or whatever, May Parker. Classic cover you guys all know about. This is signed by Ramita and let's see here. It's signed by Ramita and DeFalco. 9.8 for $730. And this guy is an idiot for putting just.
There's no excuse for a seller with 1,205 star ratings.
Yeah.
To be listing shit that way.
Yeah, he probably lost money on it.
Oh, I'm sure he lost money.
Here's a Jim Lee original Joker sketch.
That's cool.
Yeah. On a little, I don't know what that is. Like a little.
It's like a bookmark or something.
Yeah.
Good for them getting it graded
on paper. Though. DC letterhead maybe. Sold for $1,500.
Yeah.
And then this is another fucking thing that I missed out on. All right. So you guys know I love Creator First. Terry Moore, amazing creator.
Yep.
This is the first ever Terry Moore, Francine, and Kachu from Strangers in Paradise. They were originally furries. And they showed up for the first time in Genesis #2 and 3, and I've never seen these two sell together. I very rarely see Genesis #2 ever pop up. And these look like they're in decent condition. Super, super rare furry books, but the very Creator First of Tony Moore and the very first Francine and Kachu from Strangers in Paradise. Super rare.
My biggest regret from conventions last year was Terry at his table at God, I can't remember what convention it was. Baltimore had a piece of, it was an OA piece from Motor Girl, which is one of my favorite comic books ever. And it had the gorilla and the girl in it. And I literally have the tattoo. I have it, the image from that tattooed on my fucking leg. And I could have bought the OA for it, and I didn't jump on it. The next day I went back feeling like an idiot. I'm like, hey, Terry, can I grab it? And he knows me because I showed him my tattoo years ago. And when I saw him at Baltimore, he's like, hey, how's the tattoo doing? So we're bullshitting about it. And yeah, I ended up not grabbing it. The next day I went back to grab it, and he's like, dude, I sold it. And I'm like, do you got any more Motor Girl stuff? And he goes, I've got maybe an interior page. So it kills me to this. Yeah.
How'd you pass on something that you have a tattoo of?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
How about this?
And I was hanging out with you most of Baltimore too.
Yeah. Well, it was literally, no, it was, I'm not shitting you, Aaron. It was after me and you got done harassing Garrett Gunn. I walked past Terry Moore's booth.
Well, was it when you were trying, I spent my blood coin,
yeah,
and then you were trying to and then you were trying to use the blood coin again.
Yeah,
Oh, he's gonna be in. He's gonna be in Dallas.
After that. It was
So
like 5 minutes after that.
So I have a pile of those coins, and I'm gonna trade one in at Dallas.
Are you? You should.
Does he do anything if you bring multiple?
I don't know.
Find out.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'll let
So
you know.
this is one of the rarest Marvel advertisement retailer giveaway pieces that are out there. This is was released in 1973 and sent to select distributors as promotion to highlight their dominance in the comic world at the time as having the most sales over all their competitors, DC Comics. It was never for sale or intended for the general public, and it rarely comes up for auction and continues to exclusiveness due to its low distribution. Shout out to Adam at Bad Idea. He said that he loves to collect these rare pieces like this, these retail kind of historic pieces. $799 for this Marvel Comics #1 in sales 1973 promo button. That's pretty dope.
For a button that people like have no idea probably what it is and probably ended up throwing it out or something like that.
Yeah, man. All right, this is crazy. How about all the Spawn rare variants? The original homage variants.
Yeah.
All in one lot. Nice.
Yep. That's crazy.
Yep.
I need to hit my brother and see if we're doing this.
$600. All right, we got some Vampirella stuff coming up, you guys. How about the original in a 7.0 for $14.25? Man, I want one of these so bad. So bad. Look how nice this is. I'll take a 7.0 all day, every day.
Oh man,
$14.25.
that magazine label is so much better now.
It does look good, but the problem is that thing probably moves in there. All right, speaking of Vampirella, here you guys can see the back. Great back covers. Got the Frazetta on there too. Check this out. How about a French edition? So a CGC 8.5 sold for $600. Now this came out in 1971. French edition, right? It's got the yellow.
Yeah.
Pretty dope. Well, check this out. This is another French edition of Vampirella #1. It's red from 1970. And this one sold for $302 for $6.5.
Really?
Oh, so it predates it.
Yeah. Predates the other one. But it doesn't predate
the other
original.
French version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So more cool Marvel seller stuff, retail stuff. Marvel Mania flyers from Topps from 1966. These remember those little planes, World War II planes that you would get from the Ice Cream Man that you would put together and you'd throw them and they'd fly? Yep. These are basically what these are. Look how cool this is. You can see, shows the old school Topps logo. It's got the, what's his name? Johnny Flash or whatever on there. Or
are you sure it's not
it could be the original one.
Or Marvel Man or whatever?
I don't think so. It's probably Johnny Flash at this time period.
Oh, okay.
If Spider-Man's there. Let's see here. It says, yeah, if the Thing's there, then it's definitely going to be Johnny Flash. But Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, Daredevil, the Thing. Look at Daredevil. Bazooka, bubblegum on the back. That's awesome, dude. Doctor Doom, Angel, the Wasp, Submariner. That's freaking cool. Look at that.
To save the box too.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Sold for $1,847. 1966, you guys.
I mean, that's like paying for like history though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, balsa wood planes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if they aren't powered up by a rubber band, yeah, and a propeller. Yeah, Johnny Storm. Thank you, AOA. I'm stoned. I apologize. Smoke weed every day. How about this one? You guys want to see something super crazy? I've never seen this. It says Iron Man Volume 2. This is the famous Heroes Reborn stuff, right? 22 karat gold edition. It says Iron Man Volume 2, Number 1, signed by Robert Downey Jr., manufactured with number 1957 embossed on the cover. It's got a gold Jim Lee signature on it. That's how it came. This is the gold edition of the book. There's only like 2,000 of them, I think, made. And it's also got Robert Downey Jr.'s signature on it. It's 9/8. There's the back. It says, this certificate is to certify that this edition of Iron Man number 1 is an authentic limited edition reproduction of the original comic book and is imprinted with 22-karat gold stamped signatures. This edition is one of limited print run of 2,500 copies. So, pretty damn cool. And it sold for $3,600.
Wow.
Signature Series 9.8. There's the back. It's got the other cover on it for the back. Super rare. I've never even heard of this. These 22 karat gold ones. So, $3,600. All right, this is amazing. This is a pulp lot from 1931. 7 issues. Sold for $2,700. Look at this snake cover, dude. Strange Tales. That is one of the coolest covers. It's like a human turning into a snake or something. I don't know, but it's badass. Look at some of these covers. Old school pulps. Now that CGC is getting into grading pulps, it's a big thing. Big deal for pulp collectors.
Huh, Lucky Strike ads.
Yeah, man. Super cool, dude.
No, as a cigarette smoker, they finally brought back Lucky Strikes as a cigarette again.
Did
Yeah.
they?
I was so happy when they did that. I mean,
How about
not don't smoke.
Thunderbolts number 111 preliminary original art by Djurjevic for $340.
Oh, that's
Wow.
a steal. That's
That
probably
was-
the steal of the century right there.
Look at that, dude. Somebody paid $341 for this. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that one. All right.
Well, I
continuing
mean,
on.
especially since what Djurjevic is a digital artist.
Yeah.
Like getting that's as close as you're gonna get to OA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolverine number 1, 2020 C2E2 signed RB Silva black and white variant, 1 of 25. This is number 4. I've never seen this. Have you ever seen this?
Yep.
No.
From C2E2
So-
2020.
So that was the last convention before pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
this was a super. I forgot exactly how you got it, but I do remember talking
Only
about this.
given to our most special fans.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you had to be in some like weird high level Marvel membership or something like that.
Wow.
But there is a colored version of this cover.
Okay.
But for this out of 25, yeah, I
That's
do
amazing.
remember this.
And then check this out. Here is a raw Marvel Spotlight number 5, sold for $736. Let's see here. What do you guys think? Take a look. Eh, eh, eh.
6.5.
Would you pay $735 for this?
6065.
I want to say
That
no.
good.
Doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look amazing. Wish I was a better grader. I need to get better at grading books. All right. You guys know about I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan, and there was some killer G.I. Joe sales this week. A lot of really good G.I. Joe sales. Night Force Shockwave. My top 5 all-time favorite G.I. Joe figure is this figure. The original Shockwave is super light blue, and he has like this dark blue camouflage, and he really sticks out. The Night Force version of him is just the dark gray coloring on that figure looks so good. The original looks great too, but this figure is beyond amazing. It's one of the toughest figures to Night Force figures to find. It's one of the most favorite G.I. Joe figures out there. This comes in 2 packs. These Night Force figures came in 2 packs. This one's unpunched, but it's pretty tore up still. And it comes with Lightfoot Night Force version. Sold for $1,115 on 38 bids.
So as a
Somebody-
GI Joe fan, would you pay that much for that?
No. not that one. But
Okay.
somebody paid $246 just for the card, the backing card.
Wow.
Just the card. That's how
Wow.
rare that figure is. Toys R Us exclusive, super rare.
And
So that's super
that
cool.
doesn't even include the Kung Fu grip.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Here's another super rare G.I. Joe that people love. This is Silver Grand Slam. Grand Slam with the silver chest piece and leg and thigh pads only came in the Jetpack Jump version. And this one came with the box and the Jetpack Jump platform. Super, super rare to find this all together, especially with the box. In this good a condition, it sold for $408. Next, another one of my top 5 all-time favorite figures for G.I. Joe, the Ninja Viper, which is just Storm Shadow painted like a teal blue, and it came with either silver swords or all black swords. It was a mail away. It came with this badass little file card that looks amazing. It looks just so good the way that they made it with a red backing. It's usually square, so they must have cut this, but just a great figure. Sold for $353 loose. And then, this is crazy. I've never seen this. He-Man, Eternia Hordeman, Musashi Horde. I've never seen this figure. So, pretty damn cool.
Oh,
Here's the back.
So the chat's asking if you saw the HasLab reveal this week.
I did see it. The G.I. Joe stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I someone gave us a heads up on it before they even revealed it. I want to say it was Nate.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then here's another super rare G.I. Joe piece that I want to show you guys. Remember, you have Night Force, you have Python Patrol, you have Tiger Force, all beloved reprints of G.I. Joe figures. Well, they decided to add some figures to that when they started putting out their 20th anniversary sets, and this is a super rare set that you could only find back then. It's the only place where you could get the Tiger Force version of Jinx. Usually she's all red, and this one, as you can see, she's Tiger Forced out. You got a Tiger Force version of Wreckage, which is basically a reprint of Firefly. As you can see there, Tiger Forced. You got a Stalker Tiger Force version, Outback or Big Brawler Tiger Force version, and then Dial Tone Tiger Force version. The original Dial Tones were my favorite all-time figures also, but I don't like the repaint as much. But the Jinx repaint and the Wreckage repaints are amazing. And they sell for a ton loose. But as you can see, $202 for this set. And then finally, we've got a rare mail-in figure that you guys have heard me talk about before. I'll bust out my own here one of these nights and read it to you. This one is the Steel Brigade mail-in create your own G.I. Joe figure, super rare, and it has the original printout that they sent you. You would make the name. This guy named his character Warper. Was it Warper? I think here. Let me see here. Codename Warper. Yeah. My code name on my guy was the Rapper. I was into rap music as a 6-year-old. Primary military specialty, Special Forces. I went Special Forces also. And my secondary military specialty was the same as his also, laser weapons. M7 flamethrower, reflex crossbow. I like that. Very ninja-esque. And he's a martial arts expert in kung fu, karate, and throwing stars. I like the throwing stars up part of that. Great move. This sold for $202. Great buy, whoever got that, including the original old school printout, which is super cool. And then finally, this guy sold a ton of Battle Beasts this week. Check this out. Come on, let's go. He sold a bunch of G.I. Joes too. But here we go. Battle Beast. $200 for this one. $200 for this one. This one went for $557. Has Bighorn Sheep and Bloodthirsty. This one sold for $227. Raising Rabbit, Danger Dog. $368. Sawtooth Shark and Porcupine. $312 for Sir Sire Horse and War Weasel. Battle Beasts are very collectible, man, and it's cool to see on-card ones. Originally supposed to be part of the Transformers line. It was part of the Transformers line in Japan. That's why they have the little emblems on there that go off with the warmth of your finger, and they were supposed to show either Decepticon or Autobot, but they changed it for America design. So, yeah. What do you mean? I think. I don't think. I know. Chad Cave.
And then we have one question from Jersey the Bay, real quick. Wait, was it the rapper or just rapper?
I think it was the rapper. I think it was the rapper. I'll have to go find it. And then finally, you guys, how about some My Chemical Romance toys coffins? So for $5,100, you get all 4 figures in a coffin. I didn't realize how crazy emo fans were.
I didn't know emo fans had that kind of money.
I know, right? Pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, when you're just sitting at home crying all the time, like, you're not spending money, right?
Live in your parents' basement. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, razor blades don't cost that much.
Yeah. Well, that is the market report for June 7th, 2023. Thank you for hanging out. All right, you guys, you got anything coming up interesting that you guys want to talk about, tell people about?
Just top secret stuff. I've got a current live sale in the private group for Hive Comics that you guys can join. The exciting news of the birds and the bees.
That's cool.
We get more exciting here as the weeks go on. We have a lot of plans in place. More the CGC protectors.
Oh, by the way, I finally got my Hive Comics CGC protectors in the mail, and I opened it up. Very, very nice, my friend. Very
I have
nice.
mine right here. I still need to hang it.
Yeah.
Pretty
Like,
dope.
I just need to get my drill and do all that
I'm
part.
trying to figure what I want to.
You don't need a
what I
drill
wanna
for that.
put in there.
I don't need a drill
Hammer
for
it
that?
in.
Oh, just hammer
Right.
it in? Okay.
You hammer in the base, take the screw out, hammer in the base, and then put the
Okay.
screw in.
Yeah,
That's why
I
I chose those ones. They're nice and easy for people.
Yeah, I already have the mark of where I'm going to
Yeah.
put it.
Oh,
I just need
perfect.
to make sure that I'm not going to hammer into
Put it
something
back.
electric
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
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 That's
Because
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then my hair will go.
Don't set your house on fire hanging your collectibles.
Yeah.
But no, man. I mean, we had that World Tree 2-second print variant that dropped. It's pretty dope. But nothing.
Did that sell
I don't
out by chance, or
we sold a shitload of them. It hasn't sold out yet, though.
Mm.
We sold a ton of them.
Yeah. No.
Void Rivals. Sean's in the chat saying Void Rivals. Void Rivals.
Well, he's party pooping. He's party pooping already, or you're party pooping. Damn it, James.
Sorry.
Void Rivals.
There we go.
It's pretty evident that we shouldn't sleep on Void Rivals,
No.
especially
Hint, cough.
Yeah, the Big Clutch Rups Comics, JJ's Comics and Art, and Wanted Comics variant by Maria Wolf, right? Is it Maria Wolf or Maria the Wolf? It's Maria the Wolf. She goes by now. So I think that's wow, she's so badass, dude.
Yeah.
She's just got such a crazy style. Like, this is one of my all-time favorite comic covers right here.
We got something coming up with Bird City with her too, but we'll talk about that in coming weeks.
So
But yeah, Void Rivals is Void Rivals. Unfortunately, I don't think we jumped on it, but it was one of those books that we were like, it's going to be a good one. We just had too much on our plate over the next 2 months. We had to let something drop, and unfortunately, I think it was Void Rivals that we ended up dropping.
Well, I'm just going to be honest here. Right before the end of the show, I think this is very important. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag on this one, okay, you guys? Some very important information about this book that you